on your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
You know, it actually smells like it would might smell like tomorrow in Fayetteville, right around game time. Well, it'll be really about a few hours before game time. Heck, it might be smelling like that right now all across Fayetteville with, hey, right now we are at 24, 25, 26 and a half hours until kickoff, right?
I ran out of fingers.
Well, you don't need
and then there's
that
like a
many
half
fingers,
hour in
do you?
there, so like, do I do like half a finger? But we're close.
Understood.
We're close.
We're very close. You just heard the announcer at our top of the hour remind you one day before Arkansas football begins. So, yeah, the hour countdown really gets going. It's going to be about 29 minutes, and then it's 24 hours until the broadcast starts when I'll get going with Gino and with Rick, and by then I think you'll be able to smell everything that we're smelling. Maybe not just, outside the stadium or around campus, but all around the state. Drew and I are in Harrison right now at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic at 1420 Highway 6265 North. They are right now having a ribbon cutting, celebrating something that actually happened in November last year, which was the Crossroads Family Clinic becoming part of Braxter Health instead of they had been with Washington Regional for a while, but now with a new organization, and weren't able to celebrate it last November. So they are ribbon cutting right now, just out of sight of where Drew and I are sitting in a fairly large tent with 4 poles holding it up, and we've got all sorts of goodies here: hot dogs, chips, Cokes, waters, a Yeti cooler that one lucky person is going to win, and a bunch of other prizes.
Nice one too.
Yeah, I don't know if they make any.
They don't
any
make
bad
a bad
ones.
one, but this is the perfect size. I begged the fiance to get me this for the birthday. She says it's a little bit out of the budget, but it is well worth it. If you've ever used a Yeti cooler, it's the last cooler you're ever going to use. I've tried and failed to steal my father's about 10 to 20 times, and he catches me every time.
Well,
so trust me, if you want one of these bad boys, it's ready right here for you for a chance to win. It's the last cooler you're ever going to win.
Unfortunately, Drew, I don't know if you're eligible to win the Yeti cooler today.
Well, sure I am.
Go in and enter.
I mean, we're pulling the thing, right? I can just dump everybody else's out, just write my name 100 times, and bingo, bango, I'm the winner, right? That's how it works, right?
It depends on how much it's worth to you, because they might have me reach in and pull out the name. We'll see. We'll see. We can't split the Yeti cooler either.
No. I mean, we could do shared custody, but that's going to be weird. I mean, I guess I'll take it week 1. You can have week 2. But then what do we do on bye week? I mean, it's going to get a little too tricky.
That sounds like trying to find a way to split the family dog. I don't know if that can happen either. But I know that we're going to be here up until 2 o'clock, and lots of folks already have showed up to celebrate the ribbon cutting, and you can still call it like a grand opening of Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison. Have been here for years. It's just part of a different organization now. And if you come out, you can not just get the dogs and the drinks and the chance at prizes, but you can stare into the lovely face of Drew Barrett and shake his hand and tell him how long you've been listening to him, which is about now 16 months.
Yeah.
You can do the same with me too, and then tour the facility inside here. A really great, great health clinic that serves Harrison and the surrounding communities. So that's a reason to celebrate, and people are certainly doing that right now. Look at that line. They've got a line right outside the main entrance to go inside, and people are pretty fired up about it. Looks like who do you think is – well, you can tell who the nurses are. I think the nurses are wearing the blue coats. There are some red coats as well worn by – those have to be administrators.
Administrators, yeah.
Yeah, and then those that are wearing suits are the ones that kind of run the whole thing. So we'll be visiting with some of the people from Braxter Health Crossroads Medical Center throughout the show too, and looks like we're going to be dodging some drops at the same time. because, across our listening area in the River Valley and North Arkansas, Fayetteville's been getting hit pretty hard today, so should clear up by the time kickoff comes tomorrow, and actually will cool the temperatures down a little bit. Thank goodness for that, because I'd seen early in the week we were supposed to have like a 90-degree kickoff, and look, I mean, when you're the home team and you're on the shaded side of the field once the sun goes behind the stadium, then you get a home field advantage just by the fact that the other team is in bright sunlight for the entire day. But I think it'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow. Should have kickoff temperature in the low to mid 80s, so that's very nice. We had great weather for every single game last year. There wasn't a drop of rain last year, no snow, no terrible windy conditions. It was never too cold. It was never too hot. You hit the Goldilocks weather for a season that at times felt like a Goldilocks season for certain. So it's Arkansas and Cincinnati tomorrow at 2:30. And when we go throughout the show today, we're going to be asking you what you think about the game, and specifically, if you want to give us the score, who you think's going to win, you can do that as well. Give us your predictions on what the season's going to look like here for Arkansas in year 3 under Sam Pittman. So I've been kind of sitting on my season prediction for a good long while now, and that's probably because I view things – I can go from every different angle on the way a season is going to progress. But I've started to coalesce around a number of wins. I'm not ready to throw it out there yet. I don't think Drew is ready either, so we'll get into that later. But if you want to hit us up with your predictions on tomorrow's game and on the season, and how about some other predictions? Who leads Arkansas in touchdowns scored? Who leads Arkansas in rushing yards? Who's going to lead the Razorbacks in receiving yards? Like last year, going into the year, you knew Traylon Burks was going to lead the team in receiving yards. Take your pick right now, and who's going to lead Arkansas in I think all 3 of those categories.
Not a bad guess in any of them.
There is no slam dunk answer to that. On the other side of the ball, who's going to lead Arkansas in tackle? It's a dumb question because it's probably going to be Bumper Pool. I don't remember how many tackles he is away from the all-time record.
Could get up there too.
That's a good point because Cat missed half the season last year and wasn't fully healthy when he played for the last couple of weeks before he sat for the rest of the season. So that's a good point too. And you know that Cat will be coming up a little bit as Arkansas will have pretty aggressive safeties this year. So who's going to lead them in tackles, in sacks, all these important statistics, and of course the most important statistic is wins. First and foremost is wins. So, I mean, to throw it out, last year, K.J. Jefferson led the team in rushing. And we had somebody point out yesterday on our text line that was a little bit misleading because it was the running back position that still led the team in rushing yards. When you put, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, when you put Traylon Smith, when you had A.J. Green, Dominique Johnson, Rocket Sanders, those 4 certainly had more rushing yards than K.J. Jefferson, but KJ did have more yardage than any other person on the team when it came to running the football on the ground. So that's a legitimate question, too. I mean, could you actually see a situation where because the carries might get split again, I don't think they'll be split necessarily, like a 50-50 or a third like you saw at times last year because Dominique Johnson, and this sounds surprising to me, he's a game-time decision right now, according to Sam Pittman. So, I mean, that means he's probably been jostled around a little bit in practice. I don't know if he's been tackled or taken to the ground, but I would imagine you have to at least have him bumped quite a bit before you even think that this kid's a game-time decision. But let's just say that he's not going to play, and that Rocket Sanders gets the bulk of the carries. I think A.J. Green will certainly get some too, and Rashad Dubinion, but. Coach Pittman says that this is an offense, and in his mind, too, not just the offense, but the way that I think he views running the football overall is you have about 3 or 4 running backs that you trust. Maybe sometimes it's 2 or 3, but multiple running backs that you feel good about. You might start the same guy, but you're going to give a series to A.J. here, a series to Dominique there. And that's what happened last year. I mean, I remember Traylon Smith starting a handful of games. Dominique Johnson started a couple of games. So did Rocket Sanders start a couple of games. And usually if they start, they're going to get more carries than anybody else. But there's so much talent at that position, and there's going to be holes open by this great offensive line that you may end up still seeing 3, 4. I don't think Dubinion will have a huge year just because the other 3 are probably going to get so many more carries. But I guess I'd be surprised if one running back doesn't get ahead of KJ. They're going to let KJ be who he is. They might tell him, just like Sam Pittman said on the radio show a couple of days ago, that he might say all the right things about going out of bounds and going to the ground before you get hit, but he's going to be who he is, which is a freight train coming downhill when he gets going, and he's going to try to initiate contact. So with all of that said, who do you think leads the team in rushing yards? And I think that it's going to be Rocket Sanders. More than any other reason is because I think he's the best running back on the team. I think he's got the best combination of speed, elusiveness, size, and strength. And I think he's going to have more carries than anybody else. I think he's going to have more rushing yards than anyone. I'm not sure about the touchdown situation because I think KJ will get plenty of opportunities to get the ball in the end zone with his legs too. But I see Rocket Sanders as an RB1. And I think at times the coaching staff has viewed him as an RB1A and Dominique as an RB1B. But I don't think Neek's going to be out there tomorrow. And I'm not saying that with any knowledge. I'm just saying that with the idea that I don't think they want to risk him before he's really ready to go, which might be against South Carolina. So that's my first prediction. I think that Rocket Sanders leads the team in rushing.
It's a fair, and I think it's probably the most educated guest out there. Just to be a little different, I am going to go with Dominique Johnson. I think it's a great sign that he's already under the questionable mark when most of us going back to last year in the bowl game, didn't think that he would be this far along. It feels like he's made a lot of progress over the last 2 weeks of practice, from green jersey to getting bumped around to getting some contact. For the coaching staff to even list him as questionable, I think that is a good sign. And the way that Dominique Johnson finished the season last year, taking over that running back room. Now, it wasn't by a lot. Rocket Sanders was right on his heels. But Dominique Johnson, I think, emerged last year as the guy. And I think if his health and has the ability to stay healthy and stay in the games, I think by the end of the season, we're going to see that Dominique Johnson, Rocket Sanders flipped. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if everything you said was exactly true, because it is the best educated guess, especially with Dominique Johnson out the first week. But I'm going to take a flyer. I'm going to say it's Dominique Johnson.
All right. Well, we've already got a text in that Brandon. I don't think Brandon is saying that he thinks A.J. Green is going to lead the team in rushing for the season, but he does say he thinks he's going to have a breakout year. 70 yards rushing, 60 receiving. He's given us our first prediction on the game score for tomorrow. Arkansas 38, Cincinnati 14. Any of your predictions are good with us, so bring it on the text line at 877-377-6963. We are live outdoors at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic at 1420 Highway 6265 North in Harrison for their grand opening, ribbon cutting, and all sorts of fun. And we're going to get into college football with Aaron Torres next on Halftime.
My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We're hogs through and through, and we like getting dirty, but our cars need to look clean and fresh, and that's where we come in. Come and check out our brand new expanded shop at 5606 Towson Avenue, or you can follow us on Facebook at JD's River Valley Restoration for new updates, including food trucks on the lot, car shows, detail courses, and much, much more. Give us a call at 479-629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Attention sports fans, your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. You need a sports book with integrity and longevity, and you need to know that you're going to get paid. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, and all kinds of crazy bets. Call today at 1-800-79-BET-US. That's 1-800-79-BET-US, and they will walk you through setting up an account. Nobody in the industry gives better bonuses than BetUS. Join now and mention ESPN Arkansas, and you can get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody beats that. Head to BetUS.com and join today. That's BetUS, where the game begins.
finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, Ref!
That's simple human sense.
Visit the Charles Osborne Agency in Greenwood or call them at 996-2129.
Gray Brothers Equipment understands the importance of your hay crop, and they're ready to help with quality Kubota products like Kubota rotary disc mowers, Kubota brand wheel hay rakes, and BV round balers attached to Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. Together, Kubota and Gray Brothers will make your hay days fun again. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
This is Northside head football coach, Coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. This is Northside head basketball coach, Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. Stop by anytime and try our $4 cocktails. Choose from a Bloody Mary, Cape Cod, Tequila Sunrise, Whiskey Sour, and more. There's also $5 glasses of wine, and Miller Lite 12-ounce drafts are always just $2. Get to TGI Fridays for lunch Monday through Friday for our $9.99 burger deal, available until 3 p.m. and comes with fries and a soft drink, tea, or Miller Lite draft. Order online for pickup at Fridays.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Yo, man, it's a lot of brothers out there flaking and perpetrating but scared to kick reality.
Man, you've been doing all this dope producing. You ain't had a chance to show them what time it is.
So what you want me to do?
I'm expressing with my full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities. Cause some don't agree with how I do this. I get straight and meditate like a Buddhist. I'm dropping flavor, my behavior is hereditary, but my technique is very necessary. Blame it on Ice Cube, because he said it gets funky when you gotta
find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
You can tell the ribbon cutting is complete here at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic at 1420 Highway 6265 North in Harrison, because now the line is starting to form for the hot dogs and for the Yeti Cooler contest. So come out and see us here. Talking college football right now with Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast and Aaron Torres Media, Fox Sports Radio as well. AT, happy football season. Did you get your nose dirty in college football last night like we did?
You know, obviously with my alma mater playing week 0, I got my nose dirty in week 0, man. So it's a fun time to get your nose dirty. So no, it's a great time of year. A lot of fun games last night, and obviously ready for what's to come here. Over the next, 4 nights now? We got 4 straight nights of football?
That's exactly right, man. Yeah. Pitt, West Virginia was really entertaining last night. Usually is.
No.
I mean, those games for years. And, obviously I grew up watching those games. But
I was going to say that, yep.
I watched Northwestern and Nebraska almost from start to finish, like from about midway through the first quarter till the end of it. And I had to drive up to Harrison and was listening to the first quarter of the Pitt radio broadcast. But once I sat down, man, That was entertaining, and I didn't realize the largest crowd to ever witness a Pittsburgh sporting event. And here, a lot of people just don't think it's a college sports town. But that was a great way to really get it going.
That's funny. I saw that stat, and I assumed it was the largest crowd to ever attend a Pitt game in Pittsburgh. And so I saw that, and the way that the stat was written made it look like the largest crowd ever. And I said, no, Big Ben, Iron Curtain, Terry Bradshaw, that can't be right. But I guess you're right, Phil. But, yeah, great game last night. You know, I mean, honestly, I know you said you grew up around Pittsburgh, which obviously I know. I think most of the listeners know. But, you know, when I was in college back in the archaic days as well, Pitt and UConn and West Virginia were all Big East football rivals. So, you know, I enjoy that rivalry as well, but really fun game last night. The Purdue-Penn State game was wild. I found it kind of entertaining at the end when James Franklin was calling it a gutty win. I said, I don't know if it was gutty, Jeff Brom throwing it 14 straight times or whatever, but you take them where you can get them, and this crazy sport that we love is officially back.
Maybe Franklin was referring to his guy who was puking on the sideline after a touchdown. That was the camera operators sometimes need to know what's about to happen, right? Because there's some people that probably got sick off that very moment. I wasn't one of them, but I think there probably
Seen
were.
it about 100 times on Twitter today, too.
Yeah, the puke six, I think is what they're calling it now. Best matchup of the weekend. That's what I've read. Yeah, the puke six. If it's a pick six, it's a puke six. There you go. I think the best matchup of the weekend, though, is Cincinnati, Arkansas. You know, and I'm saying that with a little bit of a, you know, with my own reasons, obviously, with the Arkansas connection. But when you look at these two teams, like this is an opportunity for both teams to catapult themselves into the national conversation early, very early. And I think it's better than Oregon, Georgia. I think it's better than Ohio State, Notre Dame. Because both of those games very well could end up out of hand. Maybe Arkansas, Cincinnati ends up out of hand, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, you know, the other one that comes to mind is pretty similar, right? Is the Utah-Florida game is the other one that I have my eye on, even more so, again, as you said, than Ohio State, Notre Dame, et cetera. And I agree with you on Cincinnati, Arkansas. And I think, you know, with Cincinnati, what's going to be so interesting is obviously it's such a well-run program. They're not going to beat themselves. You know, I just wonder, they lost so much talent off last year's team. A team, by the way, that played an SEC team in the playoff and clearly just didn't have the dudes to compete. But what I don't think people realize, this stat kind of blew me away as I was doing my research. You know, Cincinnati had the third most players drafted in last year's NFL draft. Yeah. It was Georgia, LSU, Cincinnati, and I know Alabama was a young team and Ohio State was whatever. Cincinnati losing 8, 9, 10 guys, whatever it was, drafted. I just think that's a lot for them to replace. I think as long as Arkansas stays true to who they are, be physical at the line of the scrimmage on both sides, I think they should be in pretty good shape because, you know, Cincinnati losing a multi-year starter quarterback, a ton of front-end NFL caliber talent, which sounds crazy to think about. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them, but I think it's going to be competitive because they're such a well-run program. But I think especially at home, Arkansas definitely has the edge.
Yeah, Tennessee and Mizzou yesterday with blowout wins over overmatched opponents. I'm not sure exactly what you make out of all of those. Utah, Florida is definitely an interesting game, and you know there's all sorts of hype around Anthony Richardson for the Gators, but I'm not sure if people know what to make of the rest of that team. Utah, a road favorite in Gainesville, like a team coming all the way from the mountains, is a favorite in the swamp. And I mean, I understand the reasons why, but it's just shocking to see that.
It is shocking to see that. It shows a little bit about how far the Florida program maybe fell under Dan Mullen, and we didn't fully realize it until right at the very bitter end there. Phil, I totally agree with what you just said, is like, I get that everybody in our business wants to be the first one on the next big thing. I don't get the Anthony Richardson hype at all. And I know he's a great athlete, you know, whatever it was, 7-8 yards per carry and all that stuff. Guy's thrown 60-something career passes. You know, he's like a 60% completion guy. When he played against Georgia last year, and I know it's Georgia, one of the great defenses we've ever seen, but you know, really, really, really struggled. And I'll say this, I'm curious about that, but I'll also say this, Phil. I think, as weird as it sounds, I think there's more pressure on Utah than any team in college football this weekend, and let me explain why. We're going to get some kind of clarification on how quickly we're expanding the college football playoff today, But as we go forward, if the Pac-12 stays as it is, I think they're going to be sort of on the outside looking in of that bigger picture playoff conversation as the talent and great programs continue to consolidate to the SEC and the Big Ten. And so I bring it up because I don't think Oregon's beating Georgia and Atlanta. But if you're Utah, if you're the Pac-12 favorite and you lose on the road to probably, frankly, the 7th or 8th best team in the SEC, that's just not a good look for the conference as a whole. Now, it'll just confirm what most people think, the Pac-12 stinks, blah, 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 whatever. I think this is a great chance for them to make a statement, not just for them, but for the entire conference that, hey, when USC and UCLA leave, don't forget, we've had good programs without those guys for a while. That's why I think there's a lot of pressure. If they win, they're supposed to. If they don't, I really do think it looks bad for those 10 teams that are sticking behind after UCLA and USC leave. Maybe I'm overanalyzing, but I truly do believe that.
Well, let's stay on the Pac-12. What were your thoughts about the reports of Washington having their first meeting with the Big Ten yesterday? Obviously, Kevin Warren wasn't there. The president wasn't there. It was pretty much lawyers and other Big Ten officials kind of just feeling it out. Is there real chances of Washington being the next domino to leave the Pac-12?
I don't think they're the next domino, no. It is interesting, right? Second school that has met with a Big Ten official of some sort. I don't really get it, but I also, it's one, guys, where I'm a little torn on because I truly believe in my heart of hearts, if the Big Ten wanted to go beyond 16, they would have just cherry-picked whoever they wanted from that Pac-12 group beyond USC and UCLA. But my other kind of thought on it is if there was no chance at all, I do wonder if we'd be a little bit further along with the Pac-12 either adding teams or closing in on a TV deal. So I'm really torn on how to feel about this one. I just think you look at the semantics of all of it. Why would Kevin Warren go through all the trouble of negotiating that crazy Big Ten media schedule or media contract, multiple contracts, 3 different contracts, as a matter of fact, if you're just going to blow it up and add teams a few weeks later? So, we've all been in business and you have exploratory conversation or exploratory, meetups or whatever. I could be completely wrong on this, and I've been wrong on stuff before. This still feels very premature to me. I don't think we get anything big soon. By the way, maybe with playoff expansion or something, with that announcement coming later today, maybe it does move things along. I'm very confused by that entire news cycle, Drew. I really am.
Yeah, it is kind of confusing. I think you're right. If they wanted to do it, they would have already gone and done it. Aaron, I know we mostly talked to you about college sports, but I saw on your Twitter your announcement that you're giving away some cash this year in an NFL pick'em.
Yeah.
Go ahead and kind of explain it to us how that's going to work. And 2, am I eligible to play? Because I want to win your money just as much as everybody else.
All right, you got to talk to your boss, Ty Richardson. I don't know exactly how all that works over there at the station, but no, you guys are obviously welcome. No, we have a great partner. It's called BracketFanatics.com. I worked with them during March Madness, and they reached out to me during, the lead up to the football season of, do you want to do an NFL pick'em pool? And I said, well, I got to do something for my people. So it's a great deal, guys. It's a great deal. Every week, one winner, just pick the games, win and lose, no spread, no nothing. One winner, $100 cash prize every single week. Season-long, $1,000 cash prize. And here's the great part. If Drew, if you're busy, I know, I think you're engaged or you were engaged. Maybe you're getting married. Maybe you forget. Okay, that's good. First of all, I'm glad that's still going strong. But then also if you forget to sign up, you can sign up in week 2, week 3, whatever, still be entered to win the weekly prizes. So, yeah, that's on my Twitter feed. I actually need to go back and pin it right now. But, yeah, no, it's really cool. Obviously, it'll start on Thursday, week 1, next week. But we're starting to promote it now and cannot wait to give all sorts of people all sorts of cash. So sign up. Yes, Drew, you're eligible. I'd be insulted if you didn't sign up. I want to give away cash. I'm basically like Oprah, just giving stuff away. And I want you to be part of it, Drew, and I want Phil to be part of it, and I want everybody in Hog Nation, ESPN, Arkansas to be part of it. So please sign up, yes.
AT, I think it's kind of funny how we're going to get into this playoff expansion thing, because you knew it was going to happen when they said, last summer, the summer before, no, we're talking about this is the proposals and all of that, and then the acrimony between certain leagues because of Oklahoma and Texas joining and the Alliance sprouted up and all of that. Now the Alliance was never really a thing anyway, and we see the Big Ten signing a contract with 3 networks that has a billion with a B in front of it, and now the conferences are coming back to the table, and it's because of the billion with a B. You can make all the arguments about access to the playoff. Are there really 12 teams that can win the championship and all of that? It's about money. It's only about money. Yeah. Am I right? Am I wrong?
You're 1,000% right. I do believe it's kind of sad. I mean, because obviously, look, if Greg Sankey and Kevin Warren, the two people who the current system clearly benefit the most, said, you know what, we're content with the money that we're getting, then they would be, now it's the opposite, right? Is that the Big 12 and Pac-12, all of a sudden they're super incentivized because, one, they're just falling so far behind financially, but two, a 14 playoff, they really just might lose access to that altogether. And so what I would say, Phil, one, it's completely about money. I don't think it's going to make the sport of college football better. The other thing that I found funny, it's just so on brand for college football. And I've been off my phone for about an hour. I don't know if we've gotten any movement on what this vote is going to look like, but I just bring it up because what is college sports? Every single major decision, it's just we get there, we make the decision, we'll figure out all the logistics later, right? So we already got, TV contracts. We already got bowl sites set up. We already got dates and times and this and that. And these school presidents are just like, yeah, you know what? Let's just blow it all up. You know what? You, Kevin Warren, you, Greg Sankey, we're just going to vote this in. You guys figure it out in the next 24 months. So on brand, just like the transfer portal, just like NIL. They just make these big sweeping changes without any real plan in place to implement it. And so, my understanding is it's still got to be a unanimous vote. It's impossible that we stick to the 2026 timeline. I don't think this leaks if there aren't people that want this pushed through. And so it's fascinating, Phil, but yes, it's all about money, and it cracks me up that it's going to be another sweeping thing in college sports that we just kind of figure out on the fly. It's just unbelievable, man. It really is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so funny it hurts. AT, appreciate you, man. It is. Enjoy the games, and we're looking forward to talking about it next week. Thank you.
Thank you both. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Appreciate it, AT.
Aaron Torres from Fox Sports Media, Aaron Torres Sports Podcast, and all the like. And it's true. I mean, think about it. College sports changes so quickly, and it is funny. It's funny to the point of pain because you just don't know how any of these things end up getting implemented. Tell you what you can implement, though, is getting over to Joe's Grilling Cantina today for their Friday special. Chicken fajitas are $10, steak fajitas are $11, and you get your sides with it. And don't forget, tomorrow during Arkansas versus Cincinnati, with the games on every single television, you get half-price apps and taps. That's not just tomorrow, it's during every Razorback game. Basketball, baseball, football, you name it. Any Hog game on the TV, half-price apps and taps at Joe's Grilling Cantina at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith, across from Harps. That's Tuesday through Saturday. Back with more halftime.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. And folks, this is my favorite time of year. It's Jeep Freedom Days. And at Red River, one thing we believe in, that's freedom. Like right now, you've got the freedom to order your car online at redriverjeep.com. You can custom build it and get it however you want. And you have the freedom to take the in-person experience and come in and order your vehicle right here from a salesperson, or buy one right off our lot. So make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs or check us out online at redriverdodge.com.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Endless Summer Sale, August 26th through September 5th, and get 30% off paints and stains with prices starting at $29.39. That means 30% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, 30% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors has all your fishing gear for summer trips at the lake or river. Check out the fishing kayaks by Old Town and New Canoe. Summer savings up to $300 off select model. Get ready for fall archery season now with a new bow by Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, and Bowtech. Jelco has the largest selection of box blinds for fall hunting. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors during the good old summertime. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Studies have shown that people who can count to 5 without saying 1 or 3 can also enjoy the new 2-4-5 breakfast deal at Hardee's. Choose from a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy, now for less. That means more made-from-scratch biscuits for me. Bite into the new 2-for-5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price of participation may vary.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hey, tired of the ESPN broadcasters? Pause your TV and sync up the broadcast with Chuck and Quinn on hitthatline.com or your ESPN Arkansas radio station.
I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. I can't sleep cause my bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
This great song by David Byrne and Talking Heads is kind of like walk-up music for one of our callers. You've heard Eddie in Clarksville bringing up, what has Eddie brought up here? And we got another caller on hold, too. This is going to be a good segment. He's talked about Fleetwood Mac. He's talked about the Eagles. He's talked about Tupac. And has been really getting into Burning Down the House by Talking Heads now. But I've been trying to get him to just bring up Psycho Killer at some point because that's my favorite Talking Heads song. And there it is, Eddie. It's your walk-up music. Have at it. Here's a fastball, right, just for you as we get a thunderbolt here in Harrison.
Good day, gentlemen, to my good friends on halftime, the halftime crew. And, boy, my juices are really flowing today. Because last night when I got off at 11 o'clock, you know what set me in the mood was a backyard brawl. As I said on the morning rush this morning, I got to give it to Pittsburgh and their fan base. Hey, that was a great showing. And congratulations for Pittsburgh on a big win on the backyard brawl. But as I crossed over Highway 64 over exit 55 overpass, there's a couple couple hotels that sit right there off the interstate. What did I see? Lo and behold, I see a couple of buses, my fans of the Bearcats. And I pulled over, and I give my whistle, and a whoop-pick suey. Welcome.
Oh, all
to the
right,
Hawk
Eddie. So
Nation.
if that's the case, if you're the welcome wagon for these folks from Cincinnati who might never have ever seen a real hog call before, I know the looks on people's faces when they see it for the first time. I don't know the looks on people's faces when they see you for the first time. What were the looks on these Cincinnati fans' faces?
Well, they give me the bear claw. I don't know what they were giving me, but I can say this. They're coming. They're an excited bunch. But I was so gracious to give them, woo, the whoop-pick suey. And that's where our optimism is going to be at. I've been talking about the song, The Burning House. Well, why not The Burning House? We got SEC Nation coming up on the hill. Any other, and we're going to welcome not only the Bearcats, what I hope the environment to become the Hawkbound. And we're going to burn down that house. I'm asking the fan base, I'm asking the student body, when you sit in those stands tomorrow, just get ready to welcome the nation to the Hawkbound. I mean, I can't
Eddie, it's
take
great to
a
hear from you,
away.
man. Eddie, it sounds good to hear from you. I got to tell you, I'm becoming a true believer because before you started talking, we had a lightning bolt and a thunderbolt course through the sky. It's like he planned it. It is literally like Eddie planned it.
Oh, he did.
He did. Eddie, thank you for listening to our show. And to fans who listen here, there's 6 more home games after this one. Don't burn the house down. Just have a lot of fun.
You can burn it down, metaphorically.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Just as long as it's metaphorically.
And now Clay Henry gets to understand what it's like to be the closing act for Eddie in Clarksville, because Clay has called us up too. And we had you on yesterday for a couple hours, Clay, but I think you forgot about something. What's up?
Let's just put this under the header of unfinished business. And I mean, I've done this for I don't know how many years. I started doing radio with Chuck 25 years ago, and I just Thursday or Friday, and this is Friday, so this might be more appropriate. So there's always been one little person call in, and it's like, Clay, is the hay in the barn? And that was in the early days. I was like, yeah. So I just kind of took that as my, finished the last part of preseason. The hay is in the barn. And we didn't do that yesterday. And I was listening to, to the guys in the afternoon show, and they had Chuck on, and they were like, well, Clay didn't say it. And, I mean, I don't know whether
heard
they're
Chuck
calling me
mention
out
it. I didn't realize where that came from.
Yeah, and I've always said it, and I didn't. And that's my fault. It's not your fault. You didn't know. And Drew certainly didn't know. Matty T didn't know. But I caught some grief. I have caught grief. And, it's like, is the hay in the barn yet? The hay's in the barn, guys.
Well, as long as you say it before the game is played, everything's all right, correct?
Yeah, yeah. And usually it's Friday.
Okay, good.
You
So,
finish the Friday practice, hay's
Clay,
in the barn.
if the hay's in the barn, where's the pitchfork, and what are we allowed to do with that?
Pitchfork is stored on the wall. You don't take the pitchfork out of the barn. You could, you leave it, could get rusted. Just take care of that dadgum pitchfork, 'cause it's important. You can't put the hay in the barn.
That's farming 101.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Well, you know where I'm from. We didn't have a pitchfork. We didn't have hay. We didn't have a barn. We had dirt. We had a garage. We had a shovel.
But there's
and
somebody
maybe some
close
snow.
to
And that
it.
was
I've
we
driven
didn't put
through
snow in the
Pennsylvania.
garage.
Put the snow. Yeah, you got a snow. Did you have a snow shovel or did you have a snow machine?
No, we had real snow shovels, kid snow shovels for me and my sister, and then as I got older, a real adult one. Now my mother, this is one of my father's faults.
Mm-hmm.
Mom does all the snow shoveling. She likes doing it for some reason. She views it as a workout or whatever, but she's got a snowblower now. Because in your 70s, it's a little difficult to just shovel off a foot of snow.
Well, you know what they say about those snow shovels? They're heart attacks. People go out that cold.
I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, and the
I've
next
heard,
thing you know,
and that's why all of my older relatives moved to Florida. All right, hey, Clay. Clay, next year, in exactly a year, we'll remember this. We'll remember to bring up Hayes in the Barn on the day that you're on with us, and we won't forget about it. But maybe we'll do it on a Friday next year. I guess it all depends on what happens tomorrow at Razorback Stadium. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk next week, okay?
Yeah. Well, I want to congratulate you. That was a talk with Clarksville, Eddie from Clarksville, with no mention of Alabama. Congratulations.
That is true. Wow.
That's good. Yeah, that's a very good point, Clay. And I'll take those congratulations under advisement.
You got it,
Appreciate
buddy.
that very much.
Y'all hang tough. Yep.
Appreciate it, Clay.
I kind of felt like I deserved a congratulations for actually getting Eddie to do back and forth with us every once in a while now.
It's taking a while, but you're getting him there. You're getting him there.
He's gotten there. And I mean, did Eddie seed the clouds for when his call occurred? It's like he planned it. How does that happen for the guy who literally sounds like he sets his hair on fire when he's on the radio? It was like that lightning bolt came from him. That was
perfect timing.
Eddie, you got a little Hollywood in you, man. And you're not just like Ric Flair. Apparently you got a little Steven Spielberg, too. All right, we're going to get into our first reset with Drew after this break on Halftime.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where it's finally time for our end of summer clearance. We've been busy all summer helping more people than ever get the nicer, newer cars they need, and now it's time to flip our inventory. That's right, they all must go. Over 100 Rath road-ready cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to save you money now with discounts up to $4,481 below retail. Plus, our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists are putting every deal together with extra for trades and fast, easy financing through the area's best local credit unions and the nation's best banks and lenders. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a premium pre-owned vehicle, now is the time, and Rath Auto Resources is the place. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But why wait? Get the nicer, newer car you've been wanting today and save up to $4,481 during the end of summer clearance at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Razorback football, fantasy drafts, new school supplies. It's my favorite time of year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Born and raised in the River Valley, I know how crazy traffic can get this time of year. As kids head back to class, remember to use caution at crosswalks and in school zones. But not all accidents can be avoided. If you or your loved one is injured in a car wreck, call today. 479-769-1505. No win, no fee. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You know that Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment in Fort Smith is your go-to shop for everything pressure washers. But did you know that they also handle your industrial pump and supply needs too? It doesn't stop there. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment's industrial vacuum trucks can handle dry, liquid, and even sludge removal from several hundred feet away. Leave the cleanup to the professionals. Contact Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment at 782-3762. That's 782-3762. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment, 3116 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Olsen, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Wrapping up hour number 1 on Halftime here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We are live at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison. Hot dogs are being eaten, Cokes are being drank, and people having a lot of fun. Come out and say hi to us and let us know what you think your thoughts are for this upcoming Arkansas football season. Let's go to Drew with our first reset of the day.
All right, here's your first reset of the day. Things you need to know to get through the rest of your day in the sporting world. First up, the biggest news out of the NBA, Donovan Mitchell. He was traded last night from the Jazz to the Cavaliers for 3 players, including Alabama alum Colin Sexton, with 3 unprotected first-round picks in 25, 27, and 29, and 2 pick swaps in 26 and 28. Venus and Serena, they lost in round 1 of the doubles. It'll be the last doubles match that you will see Serena Williams in her professional career. She continues on the singles side in round 3 of the U.S. Open tonight. Pitt won a wild one in the backyard brawl over West Virginia, 38-31, in front of the largest crowd in Pittsburgh sports history. Not just college, that includes professional as well, as 70,622 were in attendance. A lot of points in Stillwater last night as number 12 Oklahoma State, they beat Central Michigan 58-44, and the other close one in college football from the Thursday night, Penn State, they beat the Boilermakers of Purdue 35-31. But the story for me, at least, from last night is how is Sean Clifford still playing quarterback for Penn State? That dude has to be 32. I have seen that man play in person in a Cotton Bowl in 2019. I saw him play against Arkansas in an Outback Bowl in 2020. Is the start this year of 2022, and now he's the starting quarterback for another Nittany Lions season. That man is old.
That's pretty amazing. By the way, this is what the 6 that gave Pitt the lead sounded like. Bill Hillgrove, the Pitt announcer, on the call.
Back is Daniels. Throws the pass. Intercepted on a tip. Running with the football. And it's M.J. Devonshire still on his feet. He's at the 5. He's into the end zone for a Panther touchdown. You have to be here. Let's go.
Tip drill, baby. M.J. Devonshire. I mean, Johnny on the spot. That's an easy throwing catch. Was that Ford Wheaton intended? He's been great all night. And someone put butter on that ball, Billy, but not for Devonshire.
That's Pat Bostic, a former Pitt quarterback. That's the color.
The butter on the ball, Billy.
Butter on the ball. That was really good. Yeah, and the receiver that missed that pass, I mean, he had a great game up to that point. Couple of the touchdowns, caught a couple of the touchdowns on fades in the left corner of the end zone, and really gave Pitt all kinds of problems yesterday. But that's that's the sort of stuff that happens, and that crowd sounded great. I've been to Pitt games at former Heinz Field, now Acrisure Stadium, where the atmosphere was just wasn't there. Mm-hmm. It just was dull. And, it helps. You play on a Thursday night, and, SEC teams aren't going to do that very much. You had 2 of them last night, and, of course, playing Monday night's a different thing with LSU and Florida State on Monday. But, when you play on a Thursday night, you get basically everybody watching you at that very moment and jazzes everyone up. So that was
It was a great game.
Really cool to see. And so you think Sean Clifford, how many years has Clifford been there at Penn State?
Six. I looked it up, 6. His redshirt year was in 2017.
You see, there are a couple, I read a story, there's a couple of 8th-year seniors that are playing college football
really is
right
forever.
now. Well, you think about it. I mean, you redshirt one year. You get a medical red shirt or 2, and then there's the COVID year that gets tacked on.
Everybody gets an extra one.
That's 4 years right there. That's 4 extra years tacked on
and you haven't even used eligibility yet.
You haven't even used the 4 years of eligibility that you're allowed. So yeah, I don't remember where he's playing or what his name is, but he's a defensive player, and he's legitimately an 8th-year senior.
Wow.
Which means, what did I read about? I think he either played against or was a high school teammate of Lamar Jackson. And now he's still playing college football.
Just so everybody remembers, Lamar Jackson won the Heisman in 2017.
Right.
That's when he won the Heisman. He got drafted in 2018.
And that's when this guy
He's about to sign his second contract in the NFL.
That's when this guy that I'm talking about was in his 4th year of eligibility too. And now it's 4 years later, maybe 4 years later, 5 years later, and that's crazy.
It is nuts. But with a guy like Sean Clifford, who has started for 4 years, it feels like he has been there forever. Because, I mean, how many times do you have a guy at a major university start for 4 years and not move on to the NFL? I mean, it normally doesn't happen. That's why it feels like he's been there since the beginning of dawn.
Very, very good. All right, we're going to move into the second hour of halftime here on what is now a rainy Friday in Harrison, Arkansas. Good thing we got a tent here for the ribbon cutting of Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic. And we're staying as dry as we possibly can on halftime.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter Insurance agents Ted McAvoy in Greenwood or Jeff Clark in Fort Smith about a free insurance review.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Summer is here. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has everything you need for your next picnic, trip to the lake, and outdoor fun this summer. Smoked ham and turkey are perfect for sandwiches at your picnic. Take Art's brisket, ribs, and pulled pork to your next lake trip. And every Saturday at Art's, every thick and juicy burger is $1 off. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, the best barbecue and burgers in town. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith, or call ahead at 452-2550 at Art's Barbecue and Burgers.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers, occasional thunderstorms are high this afternoon in the upper 70s to lower 80s. Tonight, an increase in the cloud cover. A few isolated showers or storms possible. Overnight lows near 65. And then widespread showers and thunderstorms returning Saturday are high in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 1 day. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Well, you really can't control the weather as much as you'd like to. Live radio.
That's an understatement.
The magic of live radio, folks. If you could only be here and see what is going on here at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison, where so they got the ribbon cutting in before the heavy stuff really started coming down, which I think, if Bill Murray were to say it right now, yeah, I think the heavy stuff just did come down and is beginning to give us a little bit of I wouldn't say a flood inside this parking lot, but it's definitely a little bit wet. And with all of the electrical equipment,
don't want to get electrocuted.
Yeah, these things are fairly important to make sure you try to take care of before somebody ends up in jeopardy. But we're all right. We've got it all figured out for the time being. And, as soon as we say that, the weather will change again. And, I always say as soon as you think you realize something, God will laugh at you.
Yes, as soon as you make plans, God will laugh.
Being laughed at right now. All right, 877-377-6963. If you'd like to get with us on halftime today, we'll take your calls and texts. We've also been asking for your season predictions, whichever sort of prediction you feel most confident about. And heading into a football season where it's great when it comes to college sports. College sports are unique in this sense that there literally is no preseason whatsoever. In basketball, you get a couple of exhibitions, right?
Yeah.
You get exhibitions against lower level teams that you say, well, this is competition. We're putting in our game plan. This is being treated like a real game. Baseball, college baseball, they don't do that. They just go right into the season. But of course, that first weekend, very rarely are you playing a really good team. Every once in a while, Arkansas will match up against either a semi-good team or play in one of these weekend tournaments like they will next year, where they'll play teams out of the Big 12. But you don't have any preseason exhibitions.
No tune-ups.
No tune-ups whatsoever. It's just going up against your guys, going up against your own roommate, the guys who are wearing the same uniform as you, which is exactly what college football is as well. And, the NFL has an entire month of preseason games. They just lowered the number of preseason games by one.
Yeah, it used to be everybody got 4 unless you played in the Hall of Fame game, then you got 5. Now, Hall of Fame game 4, everybody else is down to 3, which, is expected, especially with, adding the extra game, now playing a 17 regular season game schedule. But the thing that I hate about it going from 3 to 4 is that you lose a lot of the drama of shows like Hard Knocks, of watching preseason, and those guys lose a lot of different reps. Some of those guys that are on the edge, they lost that opportunity to really show what they can contribute and why they should be on the 53-man roster. I remember I was watching Hard Knocks earlier this week. They're going from 80 to 53.
Yeah.
It used to be you went from 80 down to 65 and then 53.
That's a pretty heavy cut.
So, that's a lot of guys going into the last week that you've just got to say, I'm sorry, if we had another week, you might have been able to show us, but, better luck next year. I wish that they would have kept the 4th week of preseason, but I understand when you add an extra game in regular season.
Right, there's that trade-off.
Yeah, you just can't. That's too many games.
We'd rather have the 17th regular season game than the 4th preseason game. But in college football, and look, I'm not calling for exhibition games in college football. I don't think that's a realistic thing to expect. I thought maybe you could find a way to play a spring exhibition game. But there's a lot of other things that go into this. Who's going to go on the road? You can only play one. You're not going to get a home game, this and that. So I can understand the reasons why he wouldn't do it. But, in this case, like, that's why you don't know what to expect here. Even in the NFL. In the NFL, like, your guys, your starters, your ones, your goods, as Sam Pittman likes to call them sometimes, they don't play very much in the preseason.
No.
But they have a track record already.
You know what you're getting out of it.
You have a sense of what you're going to get.
Nobody needs to see Tom Brady throwing passes in week 2 of the preseason. You know what you're getting out of Tom Brady.
Well, apparently Gisele Bündchen isn't all that fired up about him throwing touchdown passes anymore either. Read an account today about problems in paradise between the two of them. Yeah, but that's a whole other topic to get into. But in college football, like, we literally have no idea what to expect. Now, there is a track record for some of these guys on this team, specifically at running back, at quarterback, at offensive line, at linebacker with Bumper Pool, at safety with Jalen Catalon, and maybe a little bit of safety with Miles Slusher, Ladarius Bishop, perhaps Hudson Clark, perhaps, but there's a lot of unknowns out there. And that's why it's like making these predictions before week 1.
It's tough.
Is really difficult. Like, they would have even been more difficult after week 1 last year because, and this is no disrespect to Rice, but they're nowhere near the level of team that you're playing tomorrow in the Cincinnati Bearcats. So I had a prediction about Rocket Sanders leading the team in receiving, or leading the team in rushing yards, and I think rush attempts as well, and I'll stick with that.
Those things normally go hand-to-hand together.
They should. They definitely should. So let's go over to receiver here. Let's take a look at receiver. Who leads the team in receiving? Your top leading returning receiver is Warren Thompson. And Thompson got a lot of opportunities last year. He really did. Like, I think he was targeted on big plays, either second or third most on the team last year after Traylon Burks and maybe Tyson Morris. But like, he's got the physical abilities to have a breakout season, but there's also, like, how many times are you going to be throwing the ball to begin with when you have this great running game, and the idea that I think even when they load the box, there'll be moments where Arkansas tries to run, just because that's their MO, and that's what they're best at. But if KJ throws the ball a little bit more often than he did last year, you could end up with a couple of players on that side that have quote unquote breakout seasons. Jaden Hazelwood was a productive receiver at Oklahoma. Matt Landers was a productive receiver at Toledo, and Thompson had a couple of games last year, a few games here and there where he was productive and certainly was a good target to look for. I'm not going to go with Thompson here just because he feels like more of an unknown, but I do think Jaden Hazelwood will end up leading the team in receiving. That's what I think he's been brought here to do. He's going to get the opportunity to do it. Lining up in the slot, I think he's going to be targeted pretty heavily when it comes to being inside the 20. I think he'll be targeted no matter what. But, he's a guy with some speed. He's got some size. And this is his chance to show off to the NFL scouts as well. And I think he's going to be a real weapon for this team throughout the year. I say Hazelwood leads the team in receiving touchdowns. What do you think?
In touchdowns or yards? Because that could be a little different. If we're going touchdowns, I might even go with a guy like Trey Knox, because I feel like you're going to use your running game to get you across the field for a lot of it. You're going to get you into that red zone on the running game. So when you have a shortened field, that means the box is a lot more loaded, and you're going to need a guy that can, take a hit, slip on out. I expect to see, a lot of 3-and-outs for Trey Knox right down the side, right down the goal line. I think he could lead the team in receptions just if you have that type of situation. But if we're going on a wide receiver base, I think Hazelwood's size and his ability to go up and get the ball is what's going to help you, especially in a short field situation, kind of as a guy that, even though he's playing in the slot, you might run kind of a wheel route to get him into the corner of the end zone, throw up a 50-50 ball where he can go get it. So that's probably going to be the guy. I think as far as yardages go, if we go just straight, yards, I think it might be Matt Landers because of the way that he can take the top off the defense, the way that he can get behind behind cornerbacks and behind safeties. I think he might lead the team in yards, but if we're going touchdowns, I think Hazelwood's size is a big advantage, especially in the red zone.
877-377-6963 for your thoughts on all of that. We had plenty of texters that were appreciative of Clay's calling in and making sure that the hay was in the barn. JT appreciated that. Ryan in Prairie Grove appreciated it too, and BE as well. So for the three of you, do you believe that if Clay wouldn't have said that today on this show, that this season could actually crumble and things would go in the totally opposite direction? Do we believe in curses like this?
Well,
you know where I stand on all of this. Now, maybe my thought process might begin to change a little bit based upon the idea that Eddie in Clarksville literally made it rain just by calling the show. That maybe my viewpoint may change a little bit. And by the way, Eddie, thank you so much for making sure that my pants are completely soaked this afternoon. I appreciate that.
I'm standing on one of what are these parking lot barriers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's keeping my toesies dry right now. So, but yeah,
if I step on this one, then I'm out. Then I'm out of the
you're
tent.
outside. Yeah, I've got the perfect high ground advantage right now.
Oh, it's a good thing I brought a couple of changes of clothes, because I'm going to need more than one. All right, we're going to also do Ask Phil coming up shortly here on halftime. So get me all your questions for anything involving Arkansas. Heck, ask me whatever you want. I'll decide what it is I want to answer. It's time for football. Everyone's got to load up on their hog gear. I know the guys in the Morning Rush were at the stadium shop on Razorback today, so maybe you were out there and you might have seen everything you need for your tailgating, your game day, your man cave decorations, and, of course, for students at the university, dorm room stuff as well. And it doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. They're local, family, alumni-owned, and operated. Robert and Matt are available by calling 479-STADIUM or just stop by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and tell them I sent you. Also go online to shop with an E, shoponrazorback.com. Quick break on halftime. We'll be right back.
But there was one named Lazy Cooper who said he was a lying chief. She said, you call yourself a Rain Man, well, you ought to be ashamed. We're starting all these people dreaming, thinking you can make it rain. Step back, non-believers, or the rain will never come. Someone keep that fire burning, somebody beat the drum. He said, some may think I'm crazy for making all these claims, but I swear before this day is over, you folks are gonna see some rain.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We're hogs through and through and we like getting dirty, but our cars need to look clean and fresh, and that's where we come in. Come and check out our brand new expanded shop at 5606 Towson Avenue, or you can follow us on Facebook at JD's River Valley Restoration for new updates including food trucks on the lot, car shows, detail courses, and much, much more. Give us a call at 479-629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Kids are back in school, and now it's time for Mom and Dad to have a no sales tax furniture shopping spree. At Prank Row Furniture, starting August 12th through Labor Day weekend, Prank Row Furniture is going to pay your sales tax. That's right, sales tax paid on all made-in-the-USA furniture and on all appliances. Family-owned for 28 years, we have in-store no-credit check financing and service after the sale. Come see us at Prank Row Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Have a loan with a variable or balloon interest rate and worried about your cost rising? Interest rates are rising and you may have a problem. Farm Credit can fix that. Talk to Farm Credit about locking in a long-term fixed rate for the life of your loan. Farm Credit's long-term fixed rates offer peace of mind in changing economic times. We're offering the longest terms in the ag industry. Talk to Farm Credit today. Find an office near you at myaglender.com. Equal Housing Lender.
Wave Rural Connect has opened their Lutherville zone, serving Hagerville, Knoxville, Lamar, and Ross areas with fiber internet starting at $49.95 a month. TV and phone service available too. Sign up now and the $100 install fee is being waived. Call 833-492-8372 or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com and get the best customer service available and the fastest internet from Wave. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And we also have a real treat for Razorback fans right now, and anyone that's in the listening area, and certainly around Harrison. We have Dr. Ron Rivard with us. Now, this is a conversation that can include how to take care of your heart and what it's like to play center for the Arkansas Razorbacks and for Frank Broyles, because Dr. Rivard is a cardiologist here at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic, and he played center for the Razorbacks too. Dr. Rivard, thanks for coming on.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. Center with Joe Ferguson as your quarterback. So you know the ins and the outs of this position and what it's like, to be maybe, in a sense, to be Ricky Strongberg the day before the opener. Do you remember what you felt like before the first college football game that you knew you were starting?
To be honest, no. But you don't know what's going on a lot, so it sort of hits you all at once when you get out there.
Yeah, yes. And I mean, 2 years you were the starting center for Arkansas. This position, tell me what it was like just to play that position for one.
Well, it was great because you're in the middle of everything. And the best part was the people you played with that were, excellent. And we had, on our freshman team, we had 45 scholarships instead of 25. Mm-hmm. 4 guys ran a 4.4.
Ooh, no kidding.
Yeah.
What did you run?
Oh, more. Right around 5 even.
That's not bad. That's pretty good for offensive line, though, right?
It's better than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And look what Brady's done with what God gave him.
That's true. Could you throw a football well?
No, not worth the flip.
That's the reason to snap it back to the quarterback instead. How many shotgun snaps do you think you put back in your career?
0.
I was going to say, I was going to take a guess at that.
Yeah,
it's kind of the other way around now, too.
Yeah.
What's it like when you watch Arkansas football now, and really college football now, which is such a different sport than when you played?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And for good reason. You've got a lot bigger people that are faster and stronger. And so those collisions have a lot more energy involved in them.
Mm-hmm. They really do.
And you've seen on TV where they get a break like Theismann or dislocated ankle. It's a big deal.
Absolutely, and the head injuries too. What was your playing weight at center?
255.
255. Ricky Stromberg on the Arkansas roster is listed at 313.
Yeah.
And they said he was underweight when he was under 300 when he came in as a freshman. Do you think, what would it have been like for you to try to get up to that sort of weight? Because it's not necessarily like a normal size for these guys. I've heard they eat all day long.
Well, and they lift heavy too.
Yep.
But I suspect he's taller than I am. I'm 6'2", and I imagine he's 6'4", 6'6".
Let's see, we got Stromberg at 6'4". That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I see a lot of patients that are heavy, and I just say, well, their problem is they're too short for their weight.
Well, then, all right, so how do you end up – when did you decide that you were going to get into the medical field?
Not until I couldn't play football anymore.
And when was that?
I was graduating, and I went back and did pre-med after my first degree's in history.
Did you have thoughts of continuing football? Did you want to get into the NFL?
Oh, I wanted to do that since I was in the fourth grade, but I'd had too many knee surgeries by then. I think I'd had 4 by then. And so,
wow. You saw where Auburn center isn't their center anymore. Nick Brahms, one of the better centers in the SEC, retired earlier this week. And I think, he was like their guy on the offensive line, but said his body took too much of a beating, and he wanted to have a certain quality of life moving forward. You obviously have a great quality of life as a cardiologist, and I'm sure have had a lot of success. But are there times where you can kind of still feel that football career in your body?
Oh yeah. But it's hard to know as people get older. They acquire miles on their body other ways too. Like the guys I played with, if we hadn't been playing and doing this, we'd have probably been riding motorcycles and doing other stuff that pounds your body. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I definitely probably would have added some weight. And one thing that I love to ask former football players is, how do you watch football? Because a lot of guys like to watch it from their position. Do you watch it from offensive line and back, to where, as the common person, watches where the football goes? Do you like to kind of sit there and watch a game through just what's going on in the trenches?
Well, it's a challenge because the camera follows the ball. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the stadium, you can watch it. But people stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. So if you're using binoculars, you can't really watch that either. And when my son played at Mizzou at linebacker, and I would just watch him when he was playing, and then his roommate, who was an offensive guard when they had the ball. But it's hard to – and you tend to be more analytical about it. But now everything's so complex. Unless you know the play that's called, you don't know if somebody messed up or not. So oftentimes say, well, why don't they block? Well, because the guy ran exactly where he wasn't supposed to, Yeah,
that is kind of the difference. A lot of different moving parts, and if you don't know, like you said, if you don't know what's going on, it can definitely be confusing. During your time at Arkansas, what was the biggest game that you're always going to tell, that you've told your kids? I'm sure you have grandkids. What's that one game from the U of A?
1971, Little Rock. We played Arkansas. Beat them 31-6 in the rain at War Memorial.
Yeah, you still have fond memories of War Memorial Stadium, don't you?
Yes, oh yeah. And Bud Wilkinson, the legendary OU coach, was a color man that night. And the great thing was they scored first, missed the extra point, and then they never scored again the rest of the game.
Wow. What are your memories of Frank Broyles, playing for Coach Frank?
the memory I have that I didn't know about when I was playing, but Coach Broyles had a lifetime of helping people, and he helped people that you don't know anything about. And anybody that played for him, they didn't necessarily start for him, he would help them get a job. He would help them in all kinds of ways.
Sam Pittman seems to be that kind of coach too.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah, he loves people, and he's an encourager. And over as many years as Coach Broyles was here, he had connections with everybody everywhere.
I heard Sam Pittman say on a recent Hog Pod about, when you're a leader, you can't think about yourself.
Right.
The other people think about you, but you've got to think about everyone else. Not me, me, me. It's they. Yeah. That's what I get from Sam Pittman. That's what it sounds like you're saying about Coach Broyles.
Yeah, and I think part of that's because Coach Pittman was an offensive lineman. And offensive lineman is the perfect training for life. If something goes wrong, you get the blame. If something goes right, somebody else gets the credit.
And you're only as good as your weakest link, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they, in fact, they don't know your name. You're just the line.
Right.
And but your job is there to protect people, to push people out of the way, and make other people successful. So,
Dr. Ron Rivard is joining us here on Halftime. He is a cardiologist at Baxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison, and also a former Razorback starting center for 2 years. Tell me about this clinic here. I mean, we just cut the ribbon. I know it became part of Baxter Health in November. What has that done for the Crossroads Family Clinic?
It's made a tremendous difference. It's just an excellent place to work. People are happy to be here. There's the spirit in the building is real positive. You hear laughter all the time, and everybody has a servant's heart.
And as a cardiologist, I mean, you're dealing with one of the most important parts of people's bodies, and heart disease obviously has been an issue in America for a long time. You probably deal with some pretty difficult things as a cardiologist, but you got to be honest with people too. Taking care of your heart is sometimes a little difficult to get your mind around. When you try to talk to people about what you do to take care of your heart, what's top of your mind?
Well, if you took all the risk factors for coronary disease and put them on a teeter-totter, and you put being a male, having a positive family history, having high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and being out of shape, and being overweight, you put it on one end of the teeter-totter and put smoking on the other, smoking will outweigh all those other ones put together.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So quit smoking as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah. And vaping's not an option. Vaping is worse by multiple factors than smoking. So my best friend, Jim Bronner, played defensive end for the Razorbacks. He's in Branson. He's a smoking cessation specialist. And he is adamant about not smoking, but he'll tell people keep smoking rather than vape.
Now, I mean, the tobacco settlement dollars obviously, I think, made an impact. It's been like 20 years or so that the message has been out to not smoke. Have you noticed? Are you noticing that the smoking rates have gone down in Arkansas? Or are they still at a dangerous level?
Well, see, I only see people that need to see me.
Yeah.
So I'm not good on the sample there.
Well, you must love your job, though.
Well, I like people.
And that's what it is, really.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you can say, you're a cardiologist. You got to be an expert on exactly what you're dealing with. But at the same time, it's like, and I hear people sometimes, wonder about communication with health professionals, and they think, well, they don't have the bedside manner and everything. It sounds like that is top of mind for you, is how to communicate to people.
That and being available. The most important ability is availability. If they can't see you, they don't. You can't help them. And my view is if it bothers them, it bothers me.
How long have you been a cardiologist?
30 years. I finished my fellowship in 1990.
And how long in Harrison?
22 years.
Was this home originally?
No, I grew up in Tulsa.
Okay. But you stayed in the state where you went to school?
Yeah. I came to play football. I never left.
What is it about Arkansas that kept you here?
It's like many people's lives. It sort of had its own theme, and I stayed here, got acquainted with people, and loved it.
I mean, it really sounds like a fairy tale when it comes right down to it.
Well, it turned out well.
It certainly did.
There have been plenty of bumps.
Oh, I'm sure.
What are your thoughts on Arkansas football 2022?
I think they're excellent. Now, I'm not somebody, in fact, I really can't stand people that prognosticate and say, oh, they're going to go 8-3 and all that.
It's impossible to say, right?
And more importantly, I want to win every single game I play.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not planning on winning,
why play
why
the game?
even show up?
Exactly.
You know, and there's not anybody you can't beat.
Is that the sense you have about this team right now?
Well, there's no reason for them to lose, no. But ball games are lost, not won.
Mm-hmm.
You fail to do something you're supposed to do.
All right, so
where you do something you're not supposed to do.
So where do you watch the game tomorrow, and who with?
I'll be with my daughters, and I have tickets, but somehow somebody always gets them. So
funny how that always happens, right?
Yeah, but I'll be with my daughters in Bentonville. Watch it.
Well, one last question. I know you'd mentioned I did not realize Joe Gibbs was a position coach at Arkansas before he got into the NFL as a head coach, and he was your position coach.
That's right.
What was he like as a head coach? Because this is, I mean, Joe Gibbs is a Renaissance man. I mean, he's not just like a regular football coach. We're talking somebody that's a world-class racing owner, world-class football. He won 3 Super Bowls as a head coach. I mean, this is a rare person.
Oh yeah, he understands people. He's a real positive guy, and as a player, he was real easy to work for, real easy. You know, there's some people that are really intense and sort of have the demeanor of a drill sergeant and the vocabulary of a sergeant like that. That's not Gibbs at all. You know, his strongest word is hey, 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 rather than other words that people say.
Yeah,
and. But he's brilliant, too. I mean, you can't be as successful at many things as he has. And he's got a significant Christian testimony, too.
Yep. Well, I assume you also have, with the success that you've had to put a lot of time into it as well. And we appreciate you coming over here with us and being a part of Baxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic. And I know the folks in Harrison certainly thank you, too. I'm not one of them, but I can say, I would say for all of them, thank you, too.
Well, thank you very much.
It's nice to meet you very
Good
much,
to
too.
you.
Dr. Ron Rivard, we'd say former Razorback, but you always know, once you're a Razorback, you're always a Razorback.
Once you're a hog, dog.
Yeah, right there in the middle of everything. As the starting center for 2 years for Frank Broyles' Arkansas Razorbacks. All right, quick break here on halftime. Get your Ask Phil questions in if you got them. Also reminding you that we've got a brand new beverage for your tailgate or watch party. It's a full spectrum seltzer, and it's brought to you by Ouachita Farms. No alcohol, no calories, no carbs, no sugar in Lark. That's what it's called, Lark. Go to larkhemp.com and you can learn more. Catch a buzz with no booze. Lark is infused with just the right balance of hemp-derived THC and CBD. You'll find it at larkhemp.com or at your local adult beverage store. That'll be 21 years of age or older to consume Lark. Calls and texts on halftime are 877-377-6963. And the rain has ceased here at the Baxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison. So come out and see us at 1420 Highway 6265 North in Harrison. Right back after this.
The world is always changing, and our lives change right along with it. So when you need a bigger space for that gym or remote office, a larger kitchen, or a yard to run around in, your local Weichert agent can help. And when your life changes again, and you're looking for that cozy place for just the two of you, your Weichert agent can help then too. Because at Weichert Realtors, we know that no matter how the world changes around you, we'll take you home. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, Kirk Herbstreit here. You know, there's a reason Eckrich is the official smoked sausage and deli meat sponsor of the college football playoff. It's because we know some people take tailgating as seriously as football.
I cook up enough smoked sausage, mac and cheese for a whole offensive line. Ain't that the truth?
There's no trick plays when it comes to my 3-meat charcuterie board.
That's what I'm talking about. So whether you're into the big game or just big flavor, Eckrich has you covered for all your tailgating needs. Find us at your local grocer. Eckrich, you do you.
The most demanding anglers want equipment that fits their lifestyle. Make G3 Boats by Yamaha your fishing partner today at Adventure Oklahoma and Auto Finders in Roland. Want to just relax and rejuvenate? Then a Suncatcher pontoon by G3 is just what you're looking for. Now is the time to get in on the 2022 year-end model clearance event at Adventure Oklahoma and Auto Finders through September 1st. G3 Boats and Suncatcher pontoons built to last. See them today at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. See inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
College football is almost here, and we're helping you get ready, as we do every season, with Arkansas Game Day, with a special one to start when Arkansas opens up against Cincinnati Saturday, September the 3rd. Now, we'll get things going at 9:30 a.m. Here's the deal. Tommy's going to be back in studio, Drew Barrett's going to be at Randall Ford, and I'm going to be at Sassy's Red House on College. Arkansas Game Day is always presented by Bud Light, and Curveball Whiskey is going to be at Sassy's Red House on College. Get ready for the opening game between Arkansas and Cincinnati with Arkansas Game Day. Heard live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates.
In my class, barely passed at the instant.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
We had a couple of questions in here for Ask Phil, brought to you by the Stadium Shop. The first was, do you ever think the SEC will move to a Thursday night game? No.
You don't want that.
There's no way the SEC moves to a league SEC game on Thursdays because, as I've always been told, we're the SEC. We play Saturdays. So I don't think that will ever happen. I think there'll be first weeks where you might have, they had Mizzou and Tennessee play yesterday. LSU plays on Monday, but those are not league games. Yes, teams play on week 0. It's just not. Well, does that count?
No, technically, they have the SEC on the chest.
It was not in the contiguous 48 states either, so does that count? Yeah, it does.
I'll allow it.
It kind of counts some, but I don't think you'll see SEC 2 years in a row, too. I think that Vandy's played in a week 0 game. But Thursday night is not an SEC night. That's the ACC, that's Pac-12, that's Sun Belt, that's those kind of games. So I just don't see it at all. Big Ten does some Friday night, I don't think you'll see Friday nights in the SEC either.
You just don't want it. I mean, as a guy who's covered a team, for a long time, who played Thursday and Friday night games, it's good for national exposure. Yes, you're probably the only game on TV. People are going to watch you. It's good from that. But as a fan of that program or somebody that covers that program, it's hard. It's hard to get off of work. It's hard to get down. The attendance is lousy. And if you're just planning on watching it from home, then, that's fine. But for the actual stadium experience and getting butts in seats, you don't want that. You really don't. It's more of a hassle than anything.
We've got a text that tells us that Arkansas played South Carolina in Little Rock on a Thursday in 2003. So that game was on November the 6th. So I'll just have to go back and look at the calendar just to double check about that. But, I mean, if something that happened 20 years ago was the last time that they would have played a league game on a Thursday, television contract came a few years after that. And the SEC wasn't as dominant in college football then as they are now. I mean, you had Oklahoma. There were plenty of other.
Ohio State,
Miami.
Miami was still hanging on there. That was towards the end of the Miami heydays and phase 2 of the U. USC was dominant during that time. Even though I think 2003 is the year that LSU won the national championship.
Was that
with Saban? I believe that was Saban's championship at LSU was 2003. But you're right. There was more parallel in college football then to where you could still say the SEC had a claim to being the best conference in college football, but it wasn't as far apart as it is today.
Let me see if I can hit on the other question that got asked here. Jody and Harrison asking about the SEC East. It's always been the weaker side of the conference. Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia gaining. Do you see the West still being better? Yes, absolutely. I think the West is better. I don't think Georgia is as good as they were last year. Florida has sunk a little bit. I think Tennessee is going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be great. I think Kentucky will be about the same, and those are probably the two teams that are battling for second place in that division. I see the West being stronger, and I think probably strong. I wouldn't say by far. There have been other years where it was completely obvious that the West and the East were imbalanced, but I think Alabama, I think Arkansas, I think possibly Mississippi State, potentially A&M, though I'm still not buying in on that. Those are all teams that I think would finish behind Georgia, but probably in second place in the East. The other thing too is we've had these conversations about East and West for a long time. That's going to go away in a couple of years.
Whether it's a pod system or 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 with probably looking at the 9th SEC regular season game going. So
how's everybody going to brag on their schedule then? Because you always say, in this division, we're going to start bragging about this pod or that pod.
This is the toughest pod. Everybody knows.
Doesn't quite sound the same.
It doesn't have the same flair, same feeling to it.
No, and we're all about the flair and the feeling. Other texts coming in at 877-377-6963. Matt says the NFL killed Thursday night college football. Yeah, kind of. I remember Thursday night when I was a Pitt fan and watched, Thursday night games were a big deal. I remember playing them Syracuse and Miami Thursday night. It did feel like a big deal.
But did you like it, though? Watching it,
I was a kid. The game was on. That's all that mattered.
I was about to say.
And I was allowed to stay up late on a school night, too.
Okay, that is a positive. But did you ever go to a Thursday night game? No, because it's a school night. And that's my point when you talk about playing these games during the week. It ruins the in-stadium experience. It ruins ticket sales, and you don't want that. It's much better to play every single game on Saturday where it belongs, where you can get more more people there.
You know what I did do, though? Is I went to a couple of Monday night games at Three
Yeah.
Rivers,
Okay.
school night and everything.
That's true.
I went to the Monday night games. It's you will make an exception because you're not going to play every night. You're not going to do this every week, right?
yeah.
There's one exception where you're allowed to go to sleep at 11:30. And, I mean, let's be honest, kids are going to sleep when they want to anyway because you close the door and who knows what's going on in there. So, but yeah, I think the SEC, is a Saturday league, have been for a very long time. And I don't see anything that's going to change that in the near future. I think there are other leagues that the SEC is perfectly happy to seed Sunday through Friday to.
When does my action start? When do I get the Tuesday night games? When do I get
Ohio
versus Northern Illinois?
It usually starts getting going around the last week of October.
I think so. Phil, I'm jonesing. I need Bowling Green versus Akron. I need my action.
Well, that's when the bowl game you play in is going to be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you might as well get used to playing on those days of the week anyway. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on halftime. Our calls and texts coming in at 877-377-6963. And Drew's got a reset after this quick break.
Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you?
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
It's time for Breen RV's Labor Day blowout sale from September 1st through the 10th. With nearly $4 million of inventory, we are sure to have the next travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome in stock and ready for adventure. That means now is the best time to get your first RV or upgrade your existing RV. Start 2022 with a Coachman Clipper for just $207 a month, or save $34,000 off MSRP on a 2022 Dutchman Astoria, both with maintenance for life. Don't miss your opportunity to save thousands at Breen RV in Van Buren, where adventures begin. See dealer for details.
Metal Direct offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Direct assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by their location at 7420 Inmar Drive in Little Rock, one block off University behind Napa Auto Parts, or call them at 501-562-3112. Metal Direct, the right material for the right price.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forest Grin is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForestGrin.com. GoForestGrin.com. Apply now at GoForestGrin.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forest Grin is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForestGrin.com. GoForestGrin.com. Apply now at GoForestGrin.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Well, I'm back again for another night.
Find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And we have a winner for the Yeti cooler here at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic at 1420 Highway 6265 North in Harrison. I'm sorry, what?
Is it me? Did I win?
You are not Keith Hudson, so no, sorry about that. I told you friends and family are not eligible.
That's true.
And I don't know Keith Hudson at all, but I'm sure if we did meet, he'd be a friend, but maybe not family. But he can have this because he entered and he won. And I have a phone number and an email address that I'm ready to give out over the. No, I can't do that. That would be bad form. So congratulations, Keith. We do expect an invitation to your first tailgate party, where you can fill this Yeti cooler with whatever your heart desires. I was going to throw a couple of things in there, but it's not my cooler; it's yours. So have at it.
Yeah, congratulations, Keith.
Speaking of have at it, here's Drew with another reset.
All right, here's your hour number 2 reset of the world of sports. Everything you need to know to get you ready from what happened and get you ready for what's going to happen this weekend. In some serious news, all football matches, and that's football as in the Latin American and European version, have been suspended for today in Argentina after an assassination on the country's vice president, which took place last night in Buenos Aires. The vice president arrived at her home when a man emerged from the crowd, pointed a gun at her head from close range. Luckily for her, the firearm did not fire correctly. She is okay, and a 35-year-old man has been arrested. So scary stuff from there that has caused all soccer matches to be canceled for today in Argentina. In some lighter news, Sir Big Spur is back as the official live mass. South Carolina, after only 6 days of the General being the official name. The school announced the Rooster status last night, just 3 days after choosing the General as a new name. It has resolved the dispute between the old and new owners. They've come together with the two families, and the administration talked and found a solution for the best interest of the university.
So I can tell you why that happened is that they probably got a cease and desist letter from the insurance company, the General.
That's probably what
You've
happened.
seen all those commercials. So, I mean, look, just go with the fun name, the cool name, and if they're not going to do Cock Commander, which they weren't going to do no matter what, well, then they can do Sir Big Spur, which sounds good. We've had Derek Scott, who's the radio voice of South Carolina men's basketball and baseball on the show before. He and I have been texting about this. He was completely sick and tired of the whole renaming thing with the live. I want to call it a chicken mascot, but it's not just a chicken, of course. Yeah, and I feel like the rest of the folks at Carolina were sick about this too. So they probably just had to at least like it's not their chicken. It's the owner's chicken. It's the same like with Tusk. It's not owned by the university or the athletic department. There is a family that takes care of Tusk. But you got to keep that relationship positive. And, the name Tusk is iconic now in this state. There is no reason to change Sir Big Spur over a stupid argument about whether or not the rooster would have its comb up or down or something like that, which I think is what the argument was about. So our long well, not ours. Their long statewide nightmare is finally over in the Palmetto State.
That it is. And in some other bird-related news around the world of sports, this being reported out of Baltimore, Ravens head coach John Harbaugh has announced that the team mascot Poe suffered a season-ending drumstick injury during the halftime of the Mascot Classic in their final preseason game. Not sure if he will still grace the sidelines with his presence on crutches or in a wheelchair, but Poe will be on the injured reserve for the remainder of the season. And in some good news, I think that a lot of college football fans, a lot of sports fans are going to enjoy coming from Untold on Netflix, which did the Malice at the Palace and the Manti Te'o story. They are currently in production on a Johnny Manziel documentary. It's being reported it will be a 3-part doc. Don't have a release date yet, but that's going to be some fun. And I hope they include his time in the great AAF, which I was so lucky to be a part of. That still owes me money.
What about, didn't he play in some fan-controlled football league recently where the fans make the calls on the plays from the sidelines? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that should be involved in this too. There's any doubt about that. It's a part of his career, right? It was part of his playing career. You might as well.
I'm not going to tell the story over there, but I will tell the producers if they're listening. I do have a story or two that involves Johnny Manziel, a college bar in Tunica, Mississippi.
This sounds explosive, potentially more than explosive.
It is a great story, Phil. I may tell you off the air. I will never tell that story on the air, though, for the people's interests that are involved.
I'm a little bit frightened about that. We got a text in here from Zach in Paragould. He's impressed with Tennessee from last night. Sure. 59 points over an overmatched Ball State team. Hendon Hooker, a couple of touchdowns, 221 yards. Threw for over 350 yards. I don't know what you make about that for Tennessee against Ball State.
Well, the 98ers, they loved it. I told you. I had plenty of people on the old Twitter machine. The 98ers, they were all over it. It feels like 98, folks.
Well, they're next up for Pitt. You watched Pitt and Tennessee both last night. They were playing at the exact same time, and they are matching up in 8 days. So they get a Saturday. It'll be on ABC. And I don't know if Tennessee will be ranked, but Pitt certainly will. And they played a pretty good game last year that helped catapult Pitt into the national conversation. It's, you could call it the Johnny Majors Bowl, I guess. And I think we did that last year. So good to see those two teams going up against it again. And we are up against it as well here for the second hour of halftime. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts here on this favorite radio program of yours. And we want to remind you about BetUS.com. They have the industry's biggest sign-up bonus, up to 200%, when they celebrate their 28th year of NFL action, which, of course, starts next week. Sign up at BetUS.com or call 800-79-BET-US and stay with us as we get into the third and final hour of the week. You know what that means. The golden hour of halftime after this.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have
Get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
A pre-owned vehicle that won't break the bank? Good luck in this market.
But wait, Joe knows good deals. That's right, Joe can get you in a pre-owned car as low as $269 a month, or a truck starting at only $299 a month. Joe knows how to give you more for your trade and save your hard-earned cash. Come see Joe at the Crane Used Car Supercenter, because Joe knows. U.S. Highway 71 in Fort Smith.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for
on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. It is the golden hour, so it's nothing but fun. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. We are still on a sunny afternoon. It was just about 60 minutes ago that the skies had opened up, and we had to pick all of our equipment up and get it out of the water and move it under the tent, or a little farther under the tent, and make sure that our backsides weren't getting completely soaked. And now look what's coming up. The sun has arrived and the clouds are pushing away, and it is turning into a gorgeous Friday afternoon here in lovely Harrison, Arkansas. We're at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison. They did the ribbon cutting a couple of hours ago. Still have free hot dogs, chips, and drinks, and gave away the free Yeti cooler. And you can still come out and stare deeply into our eyes, or just shake our hands, or just come up and look at us like some people every once in a while do. At 1420 Highway 6265 North in Harrison. Let's read through our text line here. Calvert's talking about the flooding from earlier. He shows me a photo of a Division II game at Southern Nazarene from yesterday. Holy moly. Look at this. Southern Nazarene is a school that plays in the Great American Conference in Oklahoma. And I've been there before. How do they actually play this game? Like, you saw the photo from Southern Methodist Stadium?
Yeah.
After the biblical flooding in Dallas. I don't even know how they'd be able to play on that field if they got to completely replace the turf. They had that big bubble, like the air bubble, because all of the weight of the water pushed the air into the middle of the field. And here I'm looking at a photo of Southern. This is Arkansas. This is Arkansas A&M play, or pardon me, Monticello. This is Arkansas UAM players, the Boll Weevils, on the sideline and literally up to their ankles in water. And I saw Rex Nelson, who's a friend of ours and does the Ouachita Baptist radio network. This is great. In Shawnee, Oklahoma Baptist, They don't have any room for the visiting radio broadcast in their regular press box, so they've got they've got a tent on the top of the press box, and they had biblical rain yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure.
So Rex and his crew, Jeff Root is his color guy, were basically out in the elements for that in blinding conditions. And knowing Rex, he would have been shouting no matter what. He's about the most excitable play-by-play guy you've ever heard before. Calvert, thanks for that photo, man. That is crazy to see. And we didn't quite have that much rain here, but maybe for like 5 minutes we did. But, now I can see clearly the rain is gone. JR in Lowell wants the next documentary to be on the Fayetteville cop that took the wood to Baker Mayfield.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
You don't remember about this?
No, I don't.
Well, there's the story of Baker Mayfield, and I don't know why he was even in Fayetteville. I think he might have been dating somebody locally.
Okay.
And he went out on Dixon Street, as some, occasionally will do.
As one does.
And got himself tackled by a Fayetteville police officer because he was being unruly. He was drunk.
Well, that's what you're supposed to be on Dixon, right?
Yeah, but not unruly.
No, you got to keep the peace.
Well, that's exactly what happened. He got unruly, and he got form tackled by a policeman. So
probably the biggest hit he took all year.
Well, I think that would also be a pretty.
I don't know if you could get like a full. Out of
I don't know
it,
you could do 3 parts out of it.
You could do a good 20-minute like Sports Center type of documentary on it. I think you could do a good 20 to an hour maybe, but I don't know if a multi-parter would really be in the budget for it.
And Ricky B is just driven by Razorback Stadium, and it's getting electric. What are you seeing at Razorback Stadium? You're telling me it's electric, and, I mean, that can describe all sorts of things. We've got electrical equipment all over this table. Ricky, we text us again, 877-377-6963.
I saw all the RVs lined up yesterday.
Describe the electricity. RVs, no kidding?
Yeah,
okay,
a
good.
lot of RVs.
So Roadhog Park now is completely full.
It's getting there.
I can't wait to see what this is like tomorrow around the stadium. We get the pregame gets going at 11:30. I got to get there. I'd say usually you got to get there like an hour ahead of time. But since it's the first game, I want to get through this routine tomorrow because, there are moments you just want to try to take it all in, right? And, for an 11:30 pregame and a 2:30 kick, I'll get there 9:30, 10 o'clock. And there's people to say hello to. I don't have to worry about setting the equipment up, so it's not about that. It's just taking in the atmosphere, drinking it in, and I did the same before the Texas game last year because, those sort of events don't happen every year. An opening game against a team like Cincinnati, like this sort of thing doesn't necessarily happen every year. I think in the future, Arkansas might open. I have to look at the schedules and the future schedules. I know you got Oklahoma State on the schedule for a 4-year period. I'm not sure if those are season openers, but for years in the 60s and the early 70s, I think Arkansas did open up against Oklahoma State. So it'll be interesting to see if that was the decision, and that's the way that they'll go at it. All right, we got a caller on hold. We got Jeremy in Centerton on hold. What's up, Jeremy? You're on halftime. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. Thank you for asking, Phil. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just so you guys know, I just want to give a shout-out. Although I live in Centerton, my area code is 270. Shout-out to all the veterans out there retired out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So go Army, beat Navy. That's later on. That's later on in the year.
Very good. But, we're giving it like a 3-month leeway for that. Yeah.
You got to wait till November there. But
is that
December. First week of December. Right?
I'm going to ask the question that I know the answer to for you. I'm so excited for football, just as everyone is, And although I'm not a native of Arkansas, I have adopted Arkansas. I love it. I love the Hogs and everything like that. ESPN radio, I've got like multiple stations tuned in, depending on where I'm driving. If I'm going out of the area, I know exactly which frequency to dial in on. That's my main channel. I love ESPN Arkansas. Listening to you guys. When I get a chance, I like to call in. I don't get a chance to listen to every broadcast, whether it be Ruskin and Zach or the Morning Rush or whatever. But I do, when I do have the radio on and I have the opportunity, I'm definitely listening to you guys. And I was shocked. So I work early morning, and I do have the opportunity to listen to early morning ESPN when what's those guys? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. I'm talking about KJM come on, the nationally syndicated air. They come on 5 o'clock local for an hour before the morning rush. And I was shocked when they did this little segment about, the 4 downs and they were picking all these games. They picked the Georgia game. They picked the Ohio State game. They picked the USC game because Keyshawn Johnson is an alum from USC. And they picked the Arkansas game, and guess what? Arkansas, although they're favored, they're at home. Guess what? Another hater, another non-believer, Keyshawn picks Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati in this spot. I'm like, come on, man. I was shocked. I'm like, what? Bro, this is in Fayetteville. And they're trying to give props to the Arkansas team, but they still pick Cincinnati. I'm like, guys, this is just another log in the fire, man. I'm so excited. I'll be at the stadium tomorrow, going to the game. I wish I had face paint now. I'd be camoed from head to toe with my hair all crazy, if I had the opportunity. But I don't have face paint. All they got is woodland camouflage, and you can't wear green and brown, and black. It's red. You're hogs, right? So I was like, I'm just wanting to bring it up that Keyshawn Johnson likes Cincinnati in this spot. That's like pretty much what he said. I'm like, what? Come on, man. It makes no sense at home with the 12th man. He was non-specific. He didn't give any real reason. Like, he didn't say, because he didn't even know the coach's name. He's like, what's that dude's name, Coach Funkel? He didn't even know the dude's name, Fickle. Like, he didn't know Pittman's name. It was the most generic take I've ever heard of anyone going against the Hogs. No specificity, no nothing. I'm just saying, like, guys, it really upset me. I was just like, it'd be one thing if you wanted to say something, get very specific about how he's identifying these spotlight players and this matchup is a bad matchup for this reason, blah, blah, blah. He gave nothing. He just said, no, I like Cincinnati in this spot. Like, what? Come on, man. So I just wanted to bring that up. You give love. Yeah, I don't know. I wish you guys had comms with these nationally syndicated ESPN coworkers, because you guys kind of all in a way work for ESPN, whatever it was. I don't know all that contract stuff.
Jeremy, maybe we can work on getting Keyshawn on the show at some point.
We'll have you. We need you to call back in.
You can call him in and you can take him to task. But Arkansas's got to do their part first here. And I think Arkansas is going to win this game. I'll give a score. I'll give a score in a little bit. But I think that first of all, Cincinnati at cornerback, I think they're going to have a little trouble being able to contain the Arkansas receivers. I believe in this passing game. I really do. I also believe in the idea that Cincinnati is going to try to stop the run, and they're going to see if these two new cornerbacks are able to be on an island. And I think they're going to be proven wrong. And I think that'll be proven wrong early. And I think that'll open up the run for this team. And I think Arkansas will be able to run it against Cincinnati once the Bearcats realize that they might have a little trouble covering one-on-one against Hazelwood and against Matt Landers specifically, and I think even Warren Thompson too. And I think KJ Jefferson is a better quarterback than either of the two that they might line up tomorrow, whether it's Evan Prater or Ben Bryant. And they also have some unknowns at running back as far as who their top two running backs are, and I think you do know who Arkansas's top two running backs are. The offensive line for Cincinnati, look, they all came back. They're not all starting. They've made some changes on that offensive line in terms of position and who the starters are too. So that might be a tiny bit overdone as well. I think Arkansas has an edge in a couple of different categories here. I just let you know what they were. So hopefully I was a little more on it about my reasoning than Keyshawn was.
Well, good job.
Jamie May says 52-24 Arkansas.
Big score there, Jamie.
JT likes that Jeremy sounds just like a native Arkansan now. Complaining about the ESPN announcers and loving the Hogs through and through, even though he's not from here. And I was very impressed with Jeremy's knowledge of the entire lineup on ESPN Arkansas and on the national shows too. Dudley Dawson texted in, Drew.
Okay.
And I'd forgotten about the exact reason why Baker Mayfield was in Fayetteville. And Dudley reminds us that Mayfield had called the Allen brothers to go out with him and his girlfriend that night. They chose not to, and it was a good decision for both Brandon and Austin, not so much for Baker. All right, quick break on halftime. We'll come back with more here in Harrison at Baxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic. We'll be right back.
Peaches for free, millions of peaches for me.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We're hogs through and through and we like getting dirty, but our cars need to look clean and fresh, and that's where we come in. Come and check out our brand new expanded shop at 5606 Towson Avenue, or you can follow us on Facebook at JD's River Valley Restoration for new updates including food trucks on the lot, car shows, detail courses, and much, much more. Give us a call at 479-629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics. Save up to $8,000 off on a great pre-owned vehicle at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The manager specials are right on the front row. These are wonderful vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Many still have factory warranty remaining with discounts up to $8,000 off. And at Harry Robinson, you always get more for your trade. These savings and the best selection on pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Woo. The big stuff. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna get my love.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
All right, moving along on the golden hour here on halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We got some more predictions coming in here. I'd let you know, Jamie May thinks second half surge, Hogs win 52-24. I'd be surprised if you see that many points coming from Arkansas against the Cincinnati defense. I think this game will be in the 30s for the winning team. I think it's going to be Arkansas. JT in Hot Springs. He thinks Hogs pull away 41-24. Be a close game until the middle of the third. Oh, boy, look at it. This is the first person who has chosen Arkansas to lose. Dustin in Mansfield says, sorry, guys. Cincinnati 24-21. All right, let me see. Do we have a ban button on this text line? There we go. Dustin's been officially blocked for the remainder of his – Dustin, I'm kidding. I know you text in all the time. I don't want to do that to you. Dr. Kevin Jackson is joining us here, family physician at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic here in Harrison, where we've spent the last couple of hours around these wonderful people. Dr. Jackson, thanks for your time today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming up this way and visiting with us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Well, it was a great event, man. Most people have headed out, but a lot of people show up from the Chamber of Commerce, patients and suppliers, and I know the nurses were all out there, doctors too, and it just felt like kind of like a community celebration more than anything.
Well, it is. I think we're a big part of this community, and I've been a physician here for over 20 years, and my partner, Dr. Chu, longer than that. And so we've taken care of a lot of folks here in this community and in this town, and we're family physicians, and it's like one big family. And I think that's the great part about doing what we do is, we take care of folks from the time they're born till the time they pass. Football season coming up, we've done a lot of sports physicals and things, and it's great to see these kids coming in each year and watching them grow and going on playing sports and being successful. So it's a pretty neat thing that we get to do here, and I think the community really supports us well.
The word family gets thrown around a lot, and I think in some cases where people don't really mean what they say, we hear it with athletics teams, we hear it with football teams, and when you're a family physician, it's like, I think we're looking at it from the perspective of that the doctor is treating every member of the family, but it's essentially like you're an extended member of the family too. I mean, you're one of the most trusted people, if not the most trusted person outside of the nuclear family, essentially.
Well, it's true, and it gives us a direct advantage in helping take care of those patients because, as long as we've been doing this, we get to know the patients. We know what's going on in their lives. We know what's going on in their families. Often we know what's going on outside their lives, which helps us know how to treat those patients and, gives us an advantage over them going to a specialist or going to the urgent care clinics or those kind of things where they go and those folks don't know them. It's like they're new patients and they don't have the advantage of knowing that, their uncle just had a heart attack 3 weeks ago, and we should be kind of factoring that in our decisions and those kind of things. So being a family physician, you're right. I mean, we're part of their family, and they're part of our family. So,
what does joining Braxter Health do for the Crossroads Family Clinic?
Well, that's speaking of family, I mean, that's been the best part about this whole partnership. We started with them November the 1st. And family's what they're all about. I mean, they've treated us from day one like we're part of the family, and from the top to the bottom. Barney Larry was one of the first folks that we talked with, and I mean, he's got this genuine sense about him that he cares, and he was able to kind of get us in the position that we needed to be, and has helped out and taken care of all of our employees, nurses, office manager, everybody involved, and we couldn't be more happy. And I mean, they've been so fair about everything. Going through COVID, there was a lot of stress on hospitals and clinics and things, and we were kind of shut down there for a while where we couldn't really see patients a whole lot, having to do a lot of stuff on the phone. Patients were suffering, doctors and nurses and staff were frustrated. There was a high degree of burnout, and we were experiencing a lot of that with our previous employer, and there were some frustrations and things there, and we were able to get with Braxter Health, and it's just been refreshing. I mean, it's made being a doctor fun again.
Okay.
Dr. Chu and I have had those conversations. Like, I mean, it just got to where it wasn't fun. And I mean, we'd come in every day, and he was like contemplating and planning out his retirement. And it's like, this just isn't fun. And getting with Braxter and they kind of gave us some freedom to start seeing patients again like we would normally do and taking care of people. And I think the patients responded, staff responded. And I mean, we have a pretty good time here. I mean, it's Braxter takes great care of us. They pay us fairly. They let us do the things that we like to do the way that we like to do them with our patients. And you know, they put on this event today. This was incredible. I mean, when I came out of the clinic, I was in there seeing patients. And they're like, "Okay, we're ready for this ribbon cutting ceremony." And I come out and I was like, "Holy cow! Look at all the people out here."
Yeah.
It was just. You know, a lot of times these things are just kind of, run through the motions and, have you guys show up and do your thing. But I mean, it was like there was kind of a genuineness to it, and that's the way it's been with Braxter the whole time.
Yeah, you say fun. I'm hearing more about like fulfilling, and we all want our jobs to be that. What I learned today also too about Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic is that you guys have really hard connections to Arkansas athletics. We had Dr. Rivard on the show, former starting center for football. Dr. McConnell walked by, introduced himself. He played for Coach DeBryan, baseball a few years. So what's your connection?
Well, my connection is, I don't know that it's that great of a thing, but I still got my Citadel ticket.
That thing?
No.
You didn't tear it up?
No, I'm like this thing's going to be worth something to somebody. So. I didn't even go to the game. It was my first year at Fayetteville, and I transferred over there. I'd done 2 years at community college here and went over, and I mean, the tickets were they were basically giving them away. It was $1 a ticket for the students. So I was like, well, yeah, I'll go. And so I ended up not going to that game, but I still got that ticket at the house, and I was just like, wow, what a historical moment.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because I think honestly, like I've been to AFC Championship games in which my team, the Steelers, lost. I've been to Game 7 of National League Championship Series in which my team, the Pirates, lost. I don't have those tickets anymore. I don't want to see those tickets. They bring up some pretty miserable memories.
It does, but I mean, but now that long ago now, it's just like it's if it doesn't rain, you're not going to have the flowers. I mean, you got to have some bad times to really enjoy the good times. I mean, if you win all the time, I mean, just like Alabama. I mean, how fun is that? I mean, they never lose. And
my in-laws say it's pretty fun, so they enjoy it. They're Alabama alumni.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to lose some to really make you enjoy it. And we've had some hard times as Razorback fans. I mean, and we've had some great times. I got to be there, when we won the national championship in '94, and still got the T-shirts and the posters and all that stuff, and got to be there for the end of Barnhill. So some great moments in basketball. And football wasn't so great at the time, but and I did get to go to it was that Citadel season. I got to see Garrison Hurst run on us for about 247 yards or something like that. It was something crazy. So, but
somewhere out there you realize, Drew, there's somebody that's got their entire season ticket packages from both 2018 and 2019. And they will never throw those things away for the same reason that you're mentioning.
Sure.
Because you got to appreciate what losing is like before until you really appreciate what winning is like.
Yeah, you do. And the Hogs are set up to win a lot this year. What are your thoughts on Arkansas's chances? And you got a score prediction for us on Saturday and win total?
Tomorrow, I think it's, I would say 35-31. I pick the Hogs. I think KJ is going to have an awesome game tomorrow. I'm interested to see what the defense does. I mean, it seems like the defensive coordinator really has those guys raring to go the first several games of the season. And then it seems like maybe they kind of start figuring some things out about us. But I'm interested to see what the defense looks like. And I'm just glad we're not starting off with Georgia.
No kidding.
It's
not all that far off. Honestly.
No, it's not that far off. But I mean, those guys just pick you up and manhandle you and just throw you to the side. I don't think that'll happen with Cincinnati, but I think we'll hold our own. I think we're finally, Pittman's getting the guys in that he wants, and and guys are wanting to come to Arkansas. That's what's great. I mean, just so that it's exciting times for Arkansas right now.
Well, on more of a local note, we've seen tons of people come in here today. We've seen a lot of Mountain Home shirts and hats. We've seen some Goblin apparel today. Big one here for the local 104.3 listen area. Which side do you fall on? Who are you rooting for?
So I don't
be
really
careful. He's got to represent all of them.
Or are you just hoping for a good, clean, fun game?
Well, so I really don't have a dog in this fight. I'm actually from Bergman, which is about 10 miles north of here, and we didn't even have football. So, and we were I wouldn't say big rivals with Harrison, but I mean, we were the small town, small school, and so Harrison was the big school. So I mean, we weren't big fans of Harrison at the time, but I know from even going back to then that Harrison and Mountain Home, I mean, they have this huge rivalry, and it kind of tempered down a little bit when Mountain Home moved up in division, in classification. But Lord, it ought to be a good game tonight. And then so Dr. McConnell, who was here earlier, and he had his Mountain Home shirt on, so he was catching a bunch of flack from everybody here. So it may cost him a referral or two. I'm not sure, but
I've seen a couple Harrison shirts too.
Yeah, I've seen some Goblin stuff going around.
But
people are decked out for a game like that, and that's how you know it's that time of the year.
Yeah, it's a special time of year. I mean, this is just awesome. I mean, it's I was actually listening to you guys, I think Wednesday at lunch when I had a little lunch break, and I was listening, and you guys said you were going to be here. I didn't even know you guys were going to be here. I was like, well, how awesome is that? So,
and here you are.
And here I am on the radio with you guys.
And it's like things happen so quickly.
Well, I thought it was just going to be, maybe you guys doing it remotely from wherever you guys do your show from, and then talking to us, but actually being physically here. I mean, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys coming up.
And we appreciate you having us.
Get to put the faces with the voices.
I mean, you've got an awesome voice. I mean, listening to you the last several years calling Hog games.
If only my face matched up to the voice.
Well, actually, I probably would not have picked you out of a lineup based on your. I wouldn't have guessed that was you, but I mean, it fits.
You would have looked at the lineup and say, "Who's the Joe Rogan lookalike?"
That's that.
That's what I said. The first day I met him, I was like, you look like Joe, like skinny Joe Rogan, right?
Actually, you do.
I get it all the time. I get it all. His veins are bigger because he works out a lot more than I do.
Well, I'm sure the university's paying you like he gets paid.
Yeah, exactly like he gets paid. I'm sure of that. Yes, and I'm way into UFC too. So what's next here at the Crossroads Clinic? You guys did the celebration with the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
You've been part of Braxter Health now since November, but what's next? What's in the near future?
Well, there's some things in the future that I'm not sure I'm privy to talk about, but I think they're looking to have a bigger presence in our community. I'm from here and have did all of my training over in Fayetteville and Springdale and medical school at Little Rock. And I haven't really been over to Mountain Home a lot. I wasn't, I knew Mountain Home and Harrison kind of competed against each other. And I always assumed that, our hospital and our system here was bigger than what they had over there. Well, of course, when we joined Braxter, they had us come over. Well, that place over there is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have some of the cutting-edge technology with cardiologists. They're starting to do those heart valve replacements that don't require them splitting your chest open. They've got great specialists. Many of those come over here and see us and see our patients, which prevents them from having to travel so far. Because some of these folks, that's a big challenge for them. And then when gas prices are $5 a gallon, that's a challenge for all of us. But they come over here. There's some urologists come over here. Dr. McConnell with orthopedics comes over here. Dr. Gosho, he's a neurosurgeon, comes over here, and he's such a nice guy. And he's such a knowledgeable man and very trusting, a specialist you feel like you can trust when you talk to him and things. So, they've got some great things going on over at Mountain Home with Braxter Health. And, when they first kind of brought us on, their motto kind of is big town medicine in a small town. So their goal is to be able to provide the kind of services that you would get in Fayetteville or Rogers or Little Rock without having to travel that far, and trying to find specialists that are capable of doing those things in a fashion that is safe and trusting is hard. It's hard to get often those specialists to come to a smaller town. Those folks want to go where the Razorbacks are. They want to go, the bigger cities and things a lot of times. So somehow, Braxter's been able to pull that off. They've been able to get a lot of these specialists you would never get to a smaller area there. And I think it goes back to, when you sit down and visit with these guys, you feel like you're part of the family. Mm-hmm. They sell it. I imagine much like Sam Pittman when he's on a recruiting visit. So it's amazing, but we're hoping to get more of a presence here in our local community, where we can utilize some of the specialists we don't have here a little better and help our patients out.
Well, appreciate you stopping by and joining us, Dr. Jackson. Thanks for what you do for the community, and thanks for having us out here today.
Well, we really appreciate you guys coming up. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
That's Dr. Kevin Jackson. He's a family physician here at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison, and we certainly appreciated his time there. That was fun. I want to remind you that the Fence Man has a great job for you right now. If you're a fence builder or you have building experience, the Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus to sign on. You got to stop by and apply in person, though, in Fort Smith first to do that. And the address at the Fenceman in the Fort is 1213 North 32nd Street. If you want to build quality fencing and gates and get a great job to do it, it's the Fenceman, an equal opportunity employer. All right, we got some predictions for the upcoming season and the upcoming weekend as we head into the home stretch here in the Golden Hour on a Friday halftime. Stay with us.
Start the second half of the baseball season the right way and turn Ks into cash and big hits into big wins with FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up using promo code PLAY. Place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in match bets if you don't win. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code PLAY to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000.
21 plus and present in Arizona, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, Louisiana. Permitted parishes only. Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, West Virginia, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Illinois. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-877-70-STOP in Louisiana. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands, like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $49.95 oil change, which includes 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today. For quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best in first-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Metal Mart offers high-quality, prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be the company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials you need to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Mayflower, Jonesboro, and Little Rock, or catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
I really appreciated our first guest today, Dr. Ron Rivard, talking about how he hates the way, trying to prognosticate everything because we don't really know what we're about to see. I kind of agree with him. You know how I am about this. I hate making predictions. Maybe it's because I know there's a very good chance I'm going to be wrong and have to publicly, put something out there. But I think it's okay to do like a preseason prediction on what the team's going to finish, the upcoming game, and all of that stuff. I hate all right, who's the MVP? Who's the Heisman Trophy winner? Who's all of that kind of stuff? I don't know. That can be the more difficult stuff to try to predict. But if I'm looking at this season for Arkansas, I'm trying to wrap around the idea of a 10-win regular season, and I'm almost there. I think Arkansas starts the season with a 4-0 record. I do, just like last year. I think they're going to take down Cincinnati, and I gave you the reasons why in a segment ago. I think at home against South Carolina, they'll be able to do the same thing. Not worried about Missouri State, and honestly, I think Arkansas is a more experienced and better team right now than Texas A&M. We'll see if that's the case next year when that great recruiting class matures a little bit and becomes sophomores. Alabama, I'm not ready to put Arkansas above Alabama just yet. I'm really not. I think that's a road I'm not ready to drive on until I see it. And look, I feel like there's going to be a slip up at some point, and it might not be because you played poorly. It might be the way the ball bounced, or you got screwed over by officials or replays, or somebody got hit with targeting at a point where they can't, and has to leave the game. So I'm going to look at some of these road games. You are playing 3 road games in a row in October. October was where Arkansas hit a lull last year with 3 consecutive losses, and one of them was Georgia on the road. I see Mississippi State on the road as a tough one, a really tough one. Arkansas was lucky to beat Mississippi State last year. It came down to kicking. Cam Little went 3 for 4, and their kickers went 0 for 3. I just don't know if you'll be that lucky again next year in Starkville. So let's just look at that one as a possible L.
I mean, that's also right after Alabama. I mean, how many times has Alabama beat a team twice? You know what I mean? Like, you get the Alabama hangover. And even if you beat Alabama, you still have a Alabama hangover. And a lot of teams that end up beating Alabama, they go out the next week, they lay an egg, and they end up losing. So that is just prime, regardless of how the game the week before goes, that is just a prime upset type of game.
I think the road games at BYU and Auburn are really difficult to predict. I'm going to go with one of those 2 games as a loss. So now I've got 3. And I think you're looking at a 9-3 regular season. I think you'll have a chance for 10 wins in the bowl game, and I think 9 wins is going to get you to one of the good bowl games. I think you'll be playing in Florida again. I don't know which one, but I could see Citrus, depending on if there are 2 SEC teams in the playoff, maybe you get to one of the New Year's 6-2. I think 9 regular season wins. What about you?
Well, it is just so tough. I mean, when you look at the schedule, it could bounce either way. That's why I've said on this show, when I do appearances on other shows, that I'm not going to laugh at anybody that tells me 11-1. I'm also not going to laugh at anybody that tells me 6-6, because this schedule really is so difficult. And it starts this week against Cincinnati. I don't know exactly where, because I kind of agree with you on those other 3 losses. I don't know where it's going to come from. It might come back in Dallas and Arlington against A&M. But I'm gonna split it right down the middle. I think this is a solid 8-4 team. I think that is a good mark to hit. Now, that's the same mark you hit last year. I still feel like it would be a step in the right direction because of the tough schedule that you're playing. You're going to be playing a lot of top 25 teams throughout the season. And like you said, we don't really know yet what we're getting out of Brian Harson's squad at Auburn, that you have to go on the plains and face the Tigers. You don't know what you're getting out of Brian Kelly, who's got to come to Fayetteville with LSU. We don't know exactly how good Ole Miss is going to be late in the season. I'm pretty sure we all can go ahead and write a big old W in the left-hand column for Missouri, but there's just so many different variables that are going to happen into the season that we just don't know yet. So for my comfortability and, putting the Drew Barrett stamp of approval on it, I think 8-4, and I think that is nothing to put your nose up at because of the schedule.
It's where you were last year.
Exactly, and there's just so many unknowns. So 8-4, and I think that puts you back in Florida too, and that's always the goal.
All right, you got one more segment to get in your season predictions, and then you can't do any more season predictions once the thing started, right? So I also want to thank Fish City Grill for bringing over all the fine food to Maddie today. We got some photos from Maddie earlier.
Oh, it looks great.
What do you see there? I don't have my photo up. What do you see there, Drew?
Give me a second. I'm seeing some good fish on a bed of rice, and that's some nice little beans underneath there.
There was some shrimp and grits too, Drew. And the good news is usually when Phil's gone, he doesn't get anything, but since it's a special occasion and you're gone with him, there's a couple of things saved for you in the refrigerator.
Oh, thank you. That's why I love you, Matty. That's why Matty T's the best. He would still save me some.
See, he doesn't just play all the music. He doesn't just put out our podcast and answer the phones and make sure everything's in working order there. He makes sure Drew is nice and fed well.
That's right. And so I had some fish and shrimp too. They were delicious. And something about that shrimp. I mean, I don't know if it's legal.
Their shrimp is so good.
If it's legal to marry shrimp, it probably wouldn't be appropriate since I'm already engaged to a human female. But man, if I wasn't, I'd probably be looking into the legalities of marrying these shrimp because they're so good.
Well, if you needed to marry, we've got a marrying record over here.
I can definitely marry you
Paul
in the
Andrew
shrimp.
Barrett.
And he's got a
wedding. Your church that you got approved by online is okay with you marrying a person and a fish, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it didn't say that I couldn't.
So then it means it's all right.
The Universal Life Church, if you're listening, email me and let me know. But as far as I'm aware, it didn't say I couldn't. So, Maddie, I got you.
So big thanks to Fish City Grill keeping Maddie and Drew fed, and maybe Maddie with a second significant other that's a fish. Check them out monthly. Chalkboard specials on Facebook. You can see Fish City Grill in Rogers and in Fort Smith. And, of course, you can stop by the radio station on a Friday. Don't steal the food because they're going to smack your hands as soon as you try it.
Yeah, we will.
All right, you can get your final predictions in for the Arkansas football season on a text, 877-377-6963. And, Drew, look at what's happened here in the last 45 minutes with this tent that we were sitting underneath at Braxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison was totally full of people about an hour ago. Now it's completely empty. Yeah, that's what goes on. We'll wrap things up next.
Road Chevrolet Van Buren is hosting their second annual car show, Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right out front on the lot. Hot rods, food truck, giveaways, face painting, and vehicles of all makes and models. This event will be fun for the whole family. Have a cool car or know of someone who does? Call Savannah Neal at 479-474-4000. Road Chevrolet Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
United Hail Pros is your one-stop shop auto body repair shop, specializing in paintless dent repair. Locally owned and operated, 0 out-of-pocket with free car rental from Enterprise with a lifetime warranty. Got hail damage? Don't delay. Call United Hail Pros yesterday. 479-309-3998. That's 479-309-3998.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at tulsawoundcenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren. It's time for Breen RV's Labor Day blowout sale from September 1st through the 10th. With nearly $4 million of inventory, we are sure to have the next travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome in stock and ready for adventure. That means now is the best time to get your first RV or upgrade your existing RV. Start 2022 with a Coachman Clipper for just $207 a month, or save $34,000 off MSRP on a 2022 Dutchman Astoria. It's always presented by Bud Light, and Curveball Whiskey is going to be at Sassy's Red House on College. Get ready for the opening game between Arkansas and Cincinnati with Arkansas Game Day. Heard live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer.
It's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife. But I've been working, man, dang near all my life, and I'll keep on working long as my 2 hands are fit to use. I'll drink my beer in a tavern, sing a little bit of these working man blues.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
All right, last things last. This is what we'll be doing on Fridays about this segment. And oh, by the way, I still owe from last year finishing dead last in the picks. I have not worn my sandwich board that announces to everybody at the corner of MLK and Razorback that I suck at picking games. So guess what? This is a 4-station radio network. We've got tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people listening right now. So it's the same thing if I just stand up right now and in front of every
I don't think it works.
In front of the 3 people that are in front of me in this tent and the tens of thousands of people listening on this great radio network to announce I suck at picking games. There.
I guess.
Penance paid.
Whatever. If I lose this year, I won't. I will go into for me and Matty, whichever one of us. If we do finish last, we are formally protesting any punishment until you.
Well,
I finally
if you
just
the game. Then, quite frankly, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
Guess what, Rock? I'm still finally. I just now warmed up from getting into Beaver Lake for the polar plunge 3 years ago. Okay, so I did pay that penance, but that's the only one. All right, let's do some picks.
All right, it's time for your College Football Friday pick'ems. All lines are provided by VegasInsider.com. Like Phil said last year, I finished first, Matty finished second, and he way down at the bottom dead last. So we're going to continue the same format we did last year, 5 national games plus an FCS game of the week, starting off with the reigning national champions, Georgia, as they take on the 11th-ranked Oregon Ducks. The Bulldogs are minus 17.5-point favorites. Phil, you're up first.
I mean, the going rate would be to say that Oregon can't hang here at all, and the game being in Georgia, and they lost a lot, though, man. They lost a lot. Bo Nix going to Oregon, coming back with a vengeance against a team that's thumped him 3 years in a row. What are you giving me on a line here?
17.5.
Taking Georgia, sorry.
Oh, he set it up, and they just pulled it not so fast, my friends. I'm gonna take Phil's advice that he just laid everything out. Bo Nix is on a revenge tour, try to show everybody that just because he left the SEC doesn't mean he's not an SEC caliber quarterback. I think Georgia wins, but it's going to be a close one. Give me the Ducks to cover. Matty
That is
T.
a big number, man.
Well, you guys both make interesting points, but I'm just going to go with what my coin says, and it says tails.
It says tails. That means Matty T is on the Duck train
the coin
as well.
The coin beat me from last year. So
it did. You can't hate on the coin. Staying in the SEC, number 7, Utah Utes. They're the sexy pick for the college football playoff. They're in the swamp. They're minus 2.5 versus Florida. I don't think it's going to be that close. Give me the Utes in at least a double-digit win.
Sorry, did you say?
T.
Oh, I'm Coinstradamus. Ooh, what does my coin say? It says tails.
Tails. Matty's going with the Gators in the upset.
Well, just like Fred Gwynn would say the same thing, I'll go with the Utes.
All right. I feel like I'm missing a reference here. Did I mess up?
It's a movie called My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, okay.
The 2 Utes.
Oh, okay.
Did you say Utes?
That's very funny. Getting us back on track, staying in the SEC, Brian Kelly starts his LSU tenure in the Superdome in New Orleans. His Tigers are favored by 3.5 points over a very red hot seat of Mike Norvell in the Florida State Seminoles. Matty T, what does the coin say?
Ooh, once again, Coinstradamus says tails.
Says tails. He's going with the Noles in the upset.
Is it a quarter?
It's a coin.
Is it a quarter? We don't know what kind of a coin it is.
Yeah, it is. It's a quarter of a dollar.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with LSU. Brian Kelly and the team wins easy.
Quatradamus. we could name your coin a little bit differently. I'll take LSU, favored by 3. Orleans. All right, Florida.
Right. Up a bit. Notre Dame is at the Horseshoe against the Buckeyes. Say a 17.5-point favorite. Phil, who are you going with?
It again.
17.5-point favorite, Ohio State.
I'm going to take Ohio State. That's not even
Phil's taking the Buckeyes. I'm going to take the Buckeyes as well. Notre Dame is fairly overrated. Matty, do we have a show sweep?
Thank God the show's almost over because you guys are breaking up really bad. It is tails from Quarterdamus.
We have a show sweep. 2 games to go. NC State minus 11.5 at East Carolina. I'm going to take East Carolina to cover, but the Wolfpack win. Phil?
I'm going to take the Wolfpack.
Matty?
Heads.
Matty's taking the
Let's end it there because the music's playing.
But we didn't get our FCS game of the weekend.
Give me heads for the last one.
Let's do it off the air.
All right.
I'm going to pick some team, all right?
All right. Matty's going to take Tennessee State.
Hey, by the way, the Eastside Liquor podcast is coming out momentarily, put together by the one and only Matty T. Ruskin and Zach take you for the next few hours. And we're with you tomorrow for Arkansas Game Day and Arkansas Reaction, as we will have full coverage of Arkansas versus Cincinnati. Going to be a lot of fun. Football season is upon us, and thanks to the folks at Baxter Health Crossroads Family Clinic in Harrison for having us out. For Matty, for Drew, and everyone else, get up, get out, get better.
Your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high.